Friday, November 28th.
It's the first step, I think, of what will be a few more steps we have to take together, but I'm very pleased that the Prime Minister has heard our concerns.
Ottawa and Alberta have a new deal on a potential pipeline, but there is a long list of conditions that have to be met for that project to become reality.
Because we were hearing from families and from childcare operators that while they appreciated affordable, sustainable childcare, that there were also some things there that weren't working for them. So we wanted to negotiate that with the federal government.
Provincial and federal governments here expected to announce a formal extension of the $10 a day childcare today.
So in terms of the scenography, the design, we're really trying to create an immersive space, and certainly the new technology allows for that.
A classic Christmas tale coming to life at Regina's Globe Theatre. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Thank you for joining us on what's bound to be a snowy Friday.
Every once in a while, the staff around here, they go to like the dollar store and they buy a bunch of treats, right, just to lift spirits. Yeah. Earlier this week, they went and bought fake snowballs. But it's not going to be fake for very much longer. We're going to be able to grab real ones.
Yeah, exactly. Later on today, you can just head outside and make a real one.
Look at that. I don't know.
It's fun. We like to have fun.
Yeah, you guys make too much money or you spend it poorly. Let's get on to the news. We'll get to weather in just a minute. Ottawa and Alberta have signed an energy deal which lays a path for a new pipeline.
This agreement today between Alberta and the Government of Canada, it's the first step. It's an example of cooperative federalism.
This proposed pipeline would run from Alberta to the northwest BC coast. Under the Memorandum of Understanding, it could only be constructed if certain conditions are met. Some of those conditions are there needs to be Indigenous co-ownership and shared benefits with BC. The pipeline won't happen if Alberta's Pathway Carbon project stalls or if there is no private backer. There is opposition to the project from the BC government, coastal First Nations, and a former Liberal cabinet member. Heritage Minister Stephen Guilbeault stepped down from cabinet after that deal was signed. Guilbeault is the former environment minister. Some of the environmental laws he helped put in place were watered down under the agreement. Guilbeault will stay on as a Liberal MP. BC Premier David Eby responded to the pipeline announcement, a deal he was left out of, calling it fictional.
No proponent, no route, no money, no First Nation support. We need to make sure that this project doesn't become an energy vampire.
Premier Eby says the deal is a drain on the federal resources, a distraction from real projects, and says it's missing critical consultation. He adds the first step needs to be that the Prime Minister sit down with coastal First Nations who have already said they are opposed to that project. But here in Saskatchewan, it's getting positive reviews. Wayne Mantika gathered reaction for us.
The Prime Minister and Alberta Premier Danielle Smith signed a memorandum of understanding committing them to working together on building a pipeline to the West Coast.
At the core of the agreement, of course, is a priority to have a pipeline to Asia. That's going to make Canada stronger, more independent.
The two agreed that Ottawa would enable the export of oil through a West Coast port to Asian markets and adjust a tanker ban if necessary.
We have been working for some time on addressing the 9 bad laws, as I like to call them, that have been impacting our investment climate here, and I'm pleased that we've reached an agreement.
The Memorandum of Understanding could impact other oil-producing provinces like Saskatchewan.
We are a significant oil-producing province as well. There's a number of pieces in this Memorandum of Understanding that are going to impact how and where our energy goes in Saskatchewan as well.
Currently, there is no private sector proposal to build the pipeline, but the agreement could make it easier to attract the necessary investment.
It does provide now the first step in an opportunity to build a significant piece of transmission infrastructure that would provide not only wealth for Canadians and Canadian families, but provide energy security for places like India and other Asian markets.
Saskatchewan's NDP opposition calls the agreement good news and hopes that Saskatchewan will get something next.
I want to see Saskatchewan on the list. I want to see announcements about infrastructure in this province.
Saskatchewan is optimistic optimistic. The province says the tone of conversation and the collaboration with Ottawa is better than it has been in a decade. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
5 NDP federal leadership candidates met in Montreal last night for what was supposed to be a French language debate, but not much French was actually spoken.
Cost of living right now for Canadians is skyrocketing.
But we're getting squeezed while billionaires are cashing in.
Unless we start fixing our relationship with the first past the post electoral system, none of this will come to pass.
We need...
Now, documentarian Avi Lewis and Alberta MP Heather McPherson were able to speak mostly in French, while union leader Rob Ashton, social worker Tennille Johnston, and organic farmer Tony McQuail said they're all working on it, admitting they need to brush up on their French skills. Now, the plan was to make that debate 60% French, but most of the conversation, as you see, is in English. One of the 5 themes of the debate was how to rebuild support and win in Quebec. That's not going to be one of the ways to do it. The NDP will choose its next leader March 29th in Winnipeg. Some confusion in Saskatoon yesterday over a provincial detox center. Jeremy Dodge, what's going on over there?
Daryl, Saskatoon will keep funding a provincial detox center, even though some city councillors admitted they don't know where it is located. The confusion came up during day 3 of budget deliberations as councillors look for ways to cut costs and lower property taxes. Councillors learned the detox center is on Avenue O South and has been receiving city funding since 1997. Councillors also learned the city's $108,000 grant actually just goes to the provincial government, which operates the facility.
This feels to me like something that is very, very exclusively in their lane for the health authority and the provincial government, and I'm not even sure why we would have been providing this grant in the first place.
Councillors voted to cut the grant to the detox center in half next year and then eliminate it entirely by 2027. For a detailed account of other discussions on day 3 of city budget deliberations, head to our website. RCMP have released more information about a fatal crash south of Prince Albert earlier this week. Happened about 6 o'clock Tuesday evening on Highway 3, about 5 kilometers south of PA. RCMP say a van and an SUV collided and then the van hit a third vehicle. A 67-year-old man from Prince Albert was driving the van. He died at the scene. The driver of the SUV was not injured. The driver of the third vehicle was taken to hospital with serious injuries. Daryl, we are learning new stats about fatal collisions in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, big jump on the roads this month, reporting an increase of 175% in deadly crashes. In the last 8 days, there have been 8 fatal collisions, according to RCMP Traffic Services. That's a total of 89 motor vehicle fatal collisions so far this year that have resulted in the deaths of close to 100 people in the province. Police say major factors in many of the collisions include people not wearing seatbelts, distracted driving, speeding, and impaired driving.
Obviously, that the impact of when someone loses their life on Saskatchewan roadways is affects more than that one person. When you're on the road, be safe. There's other users of the road. Remember that as well. Wear your seatbelt. Don't drive under the influence. Don't speed, and don't drive while distracted.
RCMP reminding you to drive safely, especially as those winter conditions start to arrive. The man accused of killing a woman riding in a vehicle on a Saskatchewan highway has now been denied bail. Chris Fallman is accused of second-degree murder in the death of Tanya Myers. She was riding in a vehicle on Highway 39 near Weyburn when she was fatally shot September 12th. Details of the hearing are under a publication ban. Fallman due back in court December 9th. The best rodeo talent from across Western and Central Canada in Regina for the Maple Leaf Finals Rodeo. done, young man. The event features the top 10 athletes in each major CPR rodeo event. Riders earn their spots throughout the season by collecting points at the Maple Leaf Circuit rodeos across Western and Central Canada. Prize payout about $220,000 this year, making one of the largest and richest. They also get a chance to compete at NFR, the National Finals Rodeo. Action continues tonight over at the Brandt Centre. Let's talk curling. Roll that beautiful video, Director Corey. We're going to talk men's semi-final at the Montana's Canadian Curling Trials. Matt Dunstone taking on Mike McEwen. Dunstone trailing in 6, looking for a big score.
Save it 2, save it 3, touch it, they got it. Pistol.
Sheriff only qualified for the playoffs thanks to a Brad Gushu loss. He leads all the way to 10, looking at a wild house with his last, trying to grab a piece of the button to sit 2. Precision. Look at that. From the #1 ranked Canadian men's team, pressure now on Magic Mike McEwen, down 3 with the hammer, needs a circus shot, but it's not to be. Dunstone will play Brad Jacobs in the best-of-3 final to decide who represents Canada at the Olympics. 9-5, the final. Let's turn our attention to the weather picture. It is starting to get a little bit more like Christmas a lot of places in Saskatchewan.
That's right. You know what, Daryl, I want to give a quick shout out to a couple that I met a couple days ago when I was out and about. They're from Estevan, and I was telling them about how I was looking forward to that really big snowfall that's on the way for most of the province, because I really enjoy the feeling of Christmas about a month beforehand, right? So we want to see that snow falling. Today, that's why you're going to be seeing the biggest smile on my face. -11 right now to wake us up in Regina. We're not seeing those flakes quite yet, but they will be coming later on this afternoon. -8 to wake us up in Saskatoon. Cloud cover right now. Again, going to start seeing some flakes later on this morning. Now, the radar and satellite showing that we saw that system starting to make its way in overnight. It's going to be reaching Saskatoon by about 9 a.m. this morning, according to our radar right now. Swift current really going to be seeing those flakes into the afternoon hours as well. Into the middle part of the afternoon, we don't see it moving away from the south, but we do see it kind of pulling away from the central zone there, just leaving some clouds there. And then into those evening hours, we see it really right down over top of Estevan in the southeast corner, out of the province, and no longer a concern by about tomorrow morning, just seeing those clouds. But if you're wondering how much snow we can expect by tomorrow morning, so this is going to be falling throughout the day today and overnight hours. Swift current going to be seeing about 8 centimeters of snow, Moose Jaw about 6 centimeters, 3 for Regina and Yorkton, and about 6 expected for Estevan. So winter is on the way here, folks. Today's forecast, we're seeing temperatures that are below the seasonal average still, so -8 expected for Swift current with those flurries today, -7 for Moose Jaw, -8 for Weyburn, -8 for Estevan, and -7 for Yorkton. Again, going to be seeing just a few of those flakes. Tomorrow, we're seeing temperatures go down, -13 for Saturday, -14 for Sunday, and then -11 on Monday, -4 is on Tuesday, but that's also the day we can expect some flurries once again, -13 on Wednesday, and then dropping down on Thursday to about -5 with those flakes once again on the way. Here's a look at that 7-day forecast for Saskatoon. -10 today with those flakes, -14 tomorrow, -15 on Sunday. Again, wind chill going to be making it feel cooler. -12 on Monday. We do have some flurries likely on the way, starting earlier on in the day on Monday. Tuesday, a little bit warmer, -6, but again, seeing those flakes. -11 on Wednesday. You do see the icon for a mix of sun and cloud up there, but we do have the potential of seeing some late evening and overnight flurries heading on into the day on Thursday as well, as we reach that high of -5.
A new study finds children who were more fit and had less belly fat tended to have less symptoms of depression and anxiety. Researchers at Northeastern University looked into the rise in obesity rates and mental health disorders. They found that especially in children between the ages of 8 and 11 who met the level of physical activity recommended by the CDC, not only had less belly and back fat, but they also reported fewer symptoms of anxiety and depression. These findings suggest that supporting children so they can stay active may be an effective tool to ensure both their physical and mental well-being. Keep your kids moving by ensuring they get at least 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous activity daily. This includes walking, running, jumping, playing, anything that helps raise their heart rate and makes their muscles work. With this Medical Minute, I'm Melissa Adon.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
In case you missed it, one of the most famous Christmas trees in the world is now standing tall. A 27-meter tall tree has been placed at the center of St. Peter's Square at the Vatican. The tree is from northern Italy. A nativity scene is also being constructed.
Getting in the spirit.
Yeah, I just want to see it decorated,
Here
though.
we are.
How many lights do you figure that one has? Because Rockefeller's insane.
Oh, yeah, thousands and thousands.
Gotta like that. Getting decorated. They only have one tree. I got 6 in my house, which is still a point of contention. Question of the day.
So we've heard.
We're talking products that we always like to buy.
That's right. So we're asking you specifically, what's that one product you'll always buy the name brand of? You know, there's so many great knockoffs, but what's the one you're like, the knockoff doesn't do it justice?
There's also a tricky question because sometimes colloquially, like, not all tissues are Kleenex, but we call all tissues Kleenex.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? There's that. So if we get into some, is there something that you're brand loyal to, JD, that you can think of?
Well, most of the stuff is like made in the same factory anyway. I'm pretty picky when it comes to beer, though.
Okay.
Like, I know what I like there. And there are some good no-name beers out there. They actually are fine, but I stick to brands, usually the ones I do like.
Okay. In my house, it's this one specific brand of rib sauce, and we've tried other ones, and they just don't add up.
Okay, so that changes my answer, because if you buy mustard, you only get French's.
Oh, yeah.
You don't get the other, because Heinz, you tried, but no, like, you tried. Thank you. What's something you're brand loyal to? We want to hear from you. Text your name and answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply. Bonus points if you say CTV Your Morning Saskatchewan. And scan the QR code on your screen, or even Crave TV, which we're now streaming on. Here's a live look over the city of Saskatoon. We're back in just a minute.
Hi everyone, Mark Rowe inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. We go to Baltimore, where the Ravens were hosting the Bengals. Joe Burrow back from his injury, battling with turf toe. Doesn't miss a beat, tosses it up to Tanner Hudson, who makes the great one-handed grab for the touchdown. Burrow had 261 yards and 2 touchdowns in the upset over Baltimore. And that is your must-see moment from Thursday. And today on TSN, more football. Black Friday football. The Bears taking on the Eagles. Pre-game at 1:30 Eastern. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
So it is Black Friday, and maybe you've got the urge to shop while making a difference. Let's check in with Mike Siona now, because I think he can help. Mike.
All right, we are down here at the Christmas store YXC with Lilia Damko, one of the wonderful volunteers here. Give us a sense of exactly what happens in this room.
All right, so usually on the day of, we'll have a group of kids come in, and my role would be to be a shopper for them. So I'd get a kid, I'd take them around, and then they come with a list of who they're shopping for. So mom, dad, cousin, brother, and then we have specific tables with different ages, and then I just kind of help them pick a gift that I think would be, or that they think would be great for their family member. And then we get it wrapped for them, and then we send them home, and on Christmas they get to open it with their family.
That is so awesome. And it's not the conventional type of shopping, so to speak. I mean, we're calling it shopping, but it's not costing them a lot of money, right?
No, yeah, it costs $0 to get any of these gifts. It's basically just whatever the kid wants for their family, they get to grab for their family.
I love that. Now, we're talking a couple of hundred kids here in Saskatoon?
I think our max number was 200. I don't know how many kids we do have coming this year, but in the past we've had 200 kids come.
That's fantastic. Now, obviously, this doesn't just set itself up. This is all donated stuff, right? And people still have just a couple of days left to donate?
Right. I believe you have until December 4th to get your last-minute donations in. But yeah, everything here is either donated or we had money and then we went out to buy gifts, but mostly donations.
All right. Well, there you go. That means you've got Black Friday deals and Cyber Monday deals, and still have time to relax and donate them here. All you need to do is go to @the Christmas Store YXC on their social media channels to find out all the details on how you can give somebody the joy of Christmas.
Take a look at this school day forecast. It's brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zones safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, cool start to the day, -11. A few clouds up in the sky right now, -8 in Saskatoon. We haven't seen those flurries start quite yet, but we are expecting them to start a little bit later on this morning. Be prepared. By lunchtime in Regina, -9 with some flurries starting, -10 by lunch in Saskatoon. Again, expecting to see those flurries still. -7 by final bell. That is our expected daytime high in Regina. And -10 for Saskatoon. Again, just be prepared for some of those flakes this afternoon. Let's turn our attention now over to the gas prices. The common price in Regina this morning, 128.9. The lowest you might find, though, is 102.9. In Saskatoon, the common price, 123.9. And the lowest you might find is 114.9. Over to the farm markets now, where we find the street price of canola starting the day at $587.92 per ton. And the futures price, $651.30 per ton. Amber Durham wheat right now at $285.94 per ton. And red spring wheat at $250.80 per ton. And the Canadian dollar beginning the day trading up. It's now at 71.26 cents US. After we come back, we're talking Movember. It's drawing to a close, and we're finding out how the month went. Stay with us.
Good morning. Welcome to the 6:30 portion of Your Morning Saskatchewan. We begin with the federal and provincial governments expected to make a formal announcement on an extension of the $10 a day childcare agreement later today. Now, the Premier announced in question period this week the province was planning to announce an extension to the agreement by the end of the week. That would be today, of course. Education Minister Everett Hindley said negotiations were partially held up by cabinet changes in the federal government following the April election, along with certain aspects the province wanted to renegotiate.
Because we were hearing from families and from childcare operators that while they appreciated affordable, sustainable childcare, that there were also some things there that weren't working for them. So we wanted to negotiate that with the federal government. Well, for example, as I've indicated, one of them is the the inclusion of kids once they turn the age of 6 and essentially kind of aging out of the program. We'll talk more on Friday about what's in the deal.
The Education Minister will join me on set, and we'll have that conversation for you on Monday. One of the 2 U.S. National Guard members who were shot in Washington, D.C. has died.
She was savagely attacked. She's dead. She's not with us. Incredible person. Outstanding in every single way, in every department.
Sarah Beckstrom was 20 years old, had enlisted in 2023 and volunteered to work over the U.S. Thanksgiving weekend. Beckstrom and 24-year-old Andrew Wolf were shot while on patrol near the White House. The motive behind the attack remains unclear. The attack on 2 National Guards members intensifying the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. The U.S. will start re-examining some green cards. Green cards issued to people from 19 countries will now be looked at. The countries include Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, Republic of Congo, Haiti, and more. The administration calls these countries of concern. The U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services said that it will take into consideration negative country-specific factors, including whether the country is able to issue secure identity documents. Saskatoon will keep funding a provincial detox center, even though some city councillors admitted they don't even know where it's located. The confusion came up during day 3 of budget deliberations as councillors look for ways to cut costs and lower property taxes. Councillors learned the detox center is on Avenue O South and had been receiving funding from the city since 1997. Councillors also learned the city's $108,000 grant actually goes to the provincial government, which operates the facility.
This feels to me like something that is very, very exclusively in their lane for the health authority and the provincial government, and I'm not even sure why we would have been providing this grant in the first place.
There's a new form of energy being dug up in Saskatchewan. The successful drilling of Canada's first natural hydrogen well was recently completed near Central Butte. Max Power Mining Corporation was responsible for the undertaking. The company says it's an important new discovery when it comes to renewable sources of energy, available right here in Saskatchewan.
I will say energy is kind of like a buffet. Like you need nuclear, you need coal, you need gas, you need hydro, you need wind, and also we need natural hydrogen. It's a clean energy, which is naturally occurring in the subsurface. And if you look at recently, the power consumption is getting higher and higher.
You can read more about it on our website. A classic Christmas story is coming to Regina's Globe Theatre. Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol is on at the Globe Theatre until the end of December. That production will bring a new shine to the classic tale of Ebenezer Scrooge, thanks in part to the theatre's recent renovations.
There's new infrastructure in the theater, in the new renovated space that allows things to happen from above that once upon a time couldn't. So in terms of the scenography, the design, we're really trying to create an immersive space, and certainly the new technology allows for that.
A Christmas Carol runs at the Globe through December 28th. A Saskatoon distillery has been named Worldwide Whiskey Producer of the Year. Black Fox Farm and Distillery earned the title earlier this month after impressing the judges at the International Wine and Spirits Competition with how they use Saskatchewan's extreme weather as part of their process. Co-owners John Cote and Barb Stefanishin Cote say they take an unusual approach, storing their barrels outdoors, letting the heat and extreme cold shape the flavor of the whiskey.
It's a Canadian award, it's a Saskatchewan award because our whiskey can only be made here because of the grains that we grow and our weather and the people.
Saskatchewan is known for growing some of the best grains in the world for other purposes, and we should be able to make very good whiskey, and this proves that we can.
They also say the judges were impressed by their crop to connoisseur approach, with about 95% of the grains grown on their farm. The Moose Jaw Warriors exploded for 3 third-period goals last night.
Lajoie after him, stolen away. Here they come, 2-on-1. McFadden with Lajoie. Trailers Thorpe the play. McFadden stoned by 2. Rebound, scores. Empty net.
Landon McFadden scored 2 goals, added an assist as the Warriors beat the Calgary Hitmen 5-2 last night. Chase Woodsky turned aside 44 of 46 shots he faced for Moose Jaw to earn top star of the night. All 5 Saskatchewan teams in action this evening. And we're going to turn our attention to the Weather Center and a picture, Kayleen. This one coming in to us from Brenda, capturing the rime frost. Take a look at that.
Beautiful. Thank you for sending in those photos. I've seen some beautiful rime frost out there in the past few days. So send us your photos to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca. We'd love to show those off. Let's turn our attention now to this weather picture. The sun not fully up quite yet. Not going to be really seeing that until between 8:30 to 8:40 later on this morning. Right now it's a cooler start to the day too. We're at -11 in Regina. Yeah, we do have some of those clouds to wake us up. Mainly cloudy in Saskatoon as well. -8 right now, and some southeast winds coming in at 7 kilometers per hour. Now, yesterday, it was so nice that we had such calm winds all throughout the province. Today, they're picking up ever so slightly, but we're really only seeing them up to about 30, 35 kilometers per hour, so it's not going to be too bad later on. What we are going to be talking about, though, is that snow that's going to be falling in a lot of places across the province today. So this is later on this morning, about 9:45 a.m. We do see it falling in the Saskatoon area there. Then it's going to be pushing away from Saskatoon as we make our way into the afternoon hours, really falling down in the southwest, though. If you're waking up with us this morning around Swift Current, East End Cypress, even Assiniboia over through Coronach, you're really going to be seeing that snow coming down later on this afternoon. Into the evening hours, we do see it right around Estevan as well. Regina getting some more of those flurries, so definitely be careful if you are heading out onto those roads today. Saturday morning, we do see it clearing up a lot in terms of the precipitation, but still seeing a lot of cloud cover throughout the province, so it's going to be a very cloudy weekend. Now, total snowfall by tomorrow. Now, this includes snow that's going to be falling throughout the day today and through the overnight hours. So by 9:30 a.m. tomorrow, we could be seeing about 8 centimeters that has fallen in Swift Current. Moose Jaw 6 centimeters for Estevan as well. 3 centimeters expected for Regina and Yorkton. Only about 1 centimeter for Saskatoon. About 3 for Prince Albert. Now, temperatures coming along with this snow going to be below that seasonal average only by a little bit, though. -8 this afternoon for Swift Current, -7 for Moose Jaw, -8 for Weyburn and Estevan, -10 for Saskatoon, -7 for Regina and for Yorkton as well. Now, if you're wondering just how regular this is, well, the average this time of year in Regina is about -4.3, -5.7 for Saskatoon. Last year on this day, it was quite cold, -20 for Regina and -20.9 in Saskatoon. And the record back in the year 1901, 10.6 for Regina, and 2002 was 9.6 in Saskatoon. For the next few days, we're just seeing a mix of sun and clouds, but we are going to be seeing temperatures dropping for the weekend. More snow on the way for Regina on Tuesday, and in Saskatoon, we start seeing those flurries a little bit earlier on in your next work week. Expected to fall Monday afternoon and into Tuesday as well.
Movember is winding down, but we got to get an update on where we stand. Adam Klitschko in studio with us this morning. Adam, thanks for doing this.
Always a pleasure.
We did this at the start of the month. Now we're closer to the end of the month. Remind people out there, in case they are unaware, they landed here from Jupiter, what Movember is all about.
So Movember isn't just about mustaches. It's about changing the face of men's health. So Movember is the leading charity dedicated to men's health, and they focus on 3 key and important areas, which are men's health and suicide prevention, prostate cancer, and testicular cancer.
Where do we stand? How did the month go so far?
Month was great. It's not over yet. I think that you know, this is the 19th campaign in Canada, my 16th campaign growing a mustache for Movember, and every year continues to outdo itself in terms of the conversations that are had, the community engagement that we have. I think Saskatchewan is a pretty special place when it comes to support and engagement for Movember and embracing the mustaches.
How do we start the conversation?
So
that's the hardest part.
Exactly, yeah. So I think when it comes, our mustaches are a driver for conversation. And when we say that, what that means is we're trying to get men to be more open about their health, both physically and mentally. And, you know, even not necessarily if you're growing a mustache, but if there are men in your lives or you're a Mo sister, to also have those conversations with men in your lives. And when we talk about conversations, we're talking about conversations around cancer, around suicide prevention. Again, with those stats, 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. Testicular cancer is the most common form of cancer amongst young men, and 3 out of 4 suicides are by men. So we really want calls to action for people to have conversations about their health, get checked out if they feel like something's not right, or, you know, if you haven't talked to that man in your life in a while, or a friend or a family member, reach out to them.
You're raising money, but you're also raising awareness, and you do that through a number of campaigns. We saw some video of the ceremonial shaving at the start of the month. But you also do some interesting things to do with hot sauce.
Yeah, one of the things that our local committee, Movember Saskatchewan, has put on for the 5th year now is we tried to do something fun with the Hot Ones YouTube series, and we put together some basically a hot sauce challenge to raise money for Movember and to let people try some amazing hot sauce from some local makers. So we just wrapped one up in Regina last weekend, sold out audience, and headed straight up to Saskatoon now for another sold out show in Saskatoon.
What does it mean to have the support that you've been able to receive?
It's incredible. Yeah, like I said, every year I keep thinking that, you know, is this going to be, are we going to slow down a little bit? How's the trajectory going? But people, again, you have great conversations. You run into a lot of very passionate Movember Mo bros and Mo sisters.
If you save just one, right? You've done your job.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yes.
If people still want to donate to the campaign, to the cause, or want to raise awareness, how do they do it?
You got to go to Movember.com. Support your local Mo bro or Mo sister. Like I said, the day's not, or the month's not over yet. So, you know, next week is Giving Tuesday. You can consider giving to that. The funds for this month will be counted up until December 3rd, so you have till Wednesday.
Great.
So if there's someone in your life that's growing a Mo or supporting Movember, reach out, support.
Thank you, Adam.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Now, let's head over to the Agribition grounds in Regina, where Janelle Lipai is learning more about a local school division's involvement with the annual event. Good morning.
Hi, Jeremy. Good morning. That's right. We've got a really fun one for us here today. I've got Brian with me, who is the superintendent for the Horizon School Division. Now, Brian, tell me a little bit about this perspective and adding that into Agribition, because you guys have some great material here.
Yes, it's been a really great week. I would just like to acknowledge the Western Canadian Agribition Board and Executive for allowing and creating space for Indigenous inclusion, and allows us the opportunity to give our world views and our perspectives on agriculture from an Indigenous view.
Amazing. Well, I can tell that there's so much work that has gone into this. This is your second year being a part of Agribition. Tell me a little bit about how that feels for you guys.
You know, this year we had a lot more time to plan. I also sit on the Agribition Education Planning Committee, so that allowed us, a lot more time to get things ready, to really understand, how we fit in agriculture and the Agribition and everything that it entails. So we're really excited about being here, and it's been a great week.
Amazing. And I know you said it was busy. How are you seeing people respond, again, year two, to seeing you guys here and being able to learn some important stuff?
Yes, we've had hundreds and hundreds of school-age kids come through. We've had, many people stop by and just want to talk, and we share and we exchange, and it's nothing but good, positive relationship building, and just exposing, who we are as Indigenous peoples, and the work we do in public schools, but in just society in general.
Amazing, Brian. Well, this is fantastic. You and I are going to be back very soon. We're going to talk a little bit more about what you guys have to offer here, because there's some great things around us that I really want to dive into, Brian. So thank you so much. We'll be right back.
All right, Janelle, thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing a little more from you a little later on. The S&P 500 was on course for its first monthly loss since April before a technical outage at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange disrupted trading. A data center fault affected multiple markets, including crude oil and Treasury futures. Now, the issue has already run longer than a similar outage caused by a technical error in 2019. Crews are working to restore it. India and Canada will resume discussions on a comprehensive economic partnership agreement next week. This, according to India's Commerce and Industry Minister. The development comes after Canada had paused negotiations in 2023 amid tensions triggered by allegations made by then Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Relations started thawing after Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India met with Mark Carney on the sidelines of the G7 summit in June. And an early snowfall in some regions seems to have got people into the Christmas spirit, even as some trees will be more expensive than last year. David Thibault from Treesy International says demand has exceeded expectations. Sales at his company are up between 15% and 20% over last year. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
It's November 28th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Super Bowl champion and former Rough Rider John Ryan. We hope this birthday is the best one yet. Enjoy. This photo came into our inbox to say happy birthday, Indiana Jones. Lots of love coming your way from Mom, Dad, and your brother. Have a great day. And more birthday wishes going out to Montana. We hope you have an awesome day and an even better year to come. Happy birthday. We're also wishing a big happy birthday to Madeline. She's turning 17 years old. We hope you have a fabulous day with lots of love from your mom, dad, Jake, Leo, and Cookham. And turning 75 is Sylvia. Happy birthday to you. All of your Boondocks friends are sending you love and well wishes for your special day. And happy birthday to Ophelia. She's turning 5 years old today. Have a wonderful day with lots of love from your friends and family. And looking forward to the weekend now. A big happy birthday going out to Cohen for his 3rd birthday tomorrow. Lots of love coming from the whole family. Tomorrow is also John's birthday. Happy birthday to you with lots of love and well wishes for the year to come from your family. And happy 5th birthday again to Ophelia. Thanks so much for sending in those birthdays, but we want to hear from you. If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca. You can also scan that QR code on your screen. Send those in 1 day in advance.
Chase, what's going on the radio today?
Today is the day we finally get to give the grand prize away. Someone is coming to Boots on the Beach with us and Nadine Brody and a direct travel. So one more qualifier to come up. If you've already entered at purecountry927.ca, get ready. 7 o'clock will be the last names that we call out. It'll be that mad dash. Whoever calls back first is qualified. And then our grand prize winner coming up at 9 o'clock this morning. And you'll still have to pay attention there, because at 9 o'clock we'll just call out one name. You'll have 10 minutes to call back. If you do it, you'll win the trip. If you don't, we are moving on to the next person.
Thanks very much, Chase.
And 30 seconds later, that man is lying dead.
Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery, just opened in limited release and hits Netflix December 12th. So writer-director Ryan Johnson is working on his next film. He tells Empire magazine it harkens back to 70s paranoid thrillers with a light sci-fi element. Glenn Close from Wake Up Dead Man says she'd love to work with him on it.
The thing he's working now is not a Knives Out movie. It's a movie that he's had in his head for a very long time. I mean, it would be, wow, dream come true.
It's people coming together to celebrate his life and his contribution to the entire world.
You Got Gold, a celebration of John Prine, brings the 2022 All-Star Gathering at Nashville's iconic Ryman Auditorium to the big screen. Artists gathered to share stories about the legendary songwriter and perform his music. Check YouGotGoldMovie.com for locations and showtimes. And it's a milestone weekend for two Hollywood stars. Four-time Oscar nominee Ed Harris turns 75, and actor, writer, and director Ben Stiller turns 60. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
There's usually... With American Thanksgiving over, the Christmas season officially has started in New York. Yeah, that's the Grinch chasing a screaming Christmas tree on a subway train. Nearly 2 million people have viewed this, most of whom are impressed by most passengers not fazed by the whole situation.
See, that's hilarious because I see a lot of videos online about the wild things that happen on the subway in New York. So the unfazed people just like, it's another day. It's Tuesday in New York.
Common. Yep.
Fair enough.
All right, here's another one for you. Finding out you're pregnant can be quite the surprise, just like this.
Oh my God, you're pregnant. Oh my God, congrats.
Even in the animal kingdom. Congratulations to this cat.
I guess. Cat seems thrilled.
It's like, oh no.
So many diapers to change.
Daycare is so expensive.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Let's talk about that.
Not anymore. Not compared to when JD was paying those rates. We got time for one more. JD, you're up.
It's true. Okay, speaking of parenting and kids, those kids always come up with excuses, right?
Did you brush your teeth yet?
Mommy, when I was 5, I used to think baseball bats or bats that play baseball.
Okay, but you still have to brush your teeth. Did you brush your teeth yet?
Yeah, I mean, okay, right? Trying the distraction technique here. Masterful deflections.
Mateo's been doing this. What did you know when I was a baby? I used to no.
Sadie, there's nothing she hates more than brushing her teeth.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's the thing. All right. Well, brush your teeth after you have your breakfast. We're back right after this. It's Friday, November 28th.
It's the first step, I think, of what will be a few more steps we have to take together, but I'm very pleased that the Prime Minister has heard our concerns.
Ottawa and Alberta have a new deal on the potential pipeline.
Because we were hearing from families and from child care operators that while they appreciated affordable, sustainable child care, that there were also some things there that weren't working for them. So we wanted to negotiate that with the federal government.
Provincial and federal governments expected to make a formal announcement later today on an extension of their $10 a day child care agreement.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders and Trevor Harris have won the Grey Cup.
Canadian football's biggest prize and the man who helped bring it home will be in studio later this hour. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Your morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Happy Friday. We made it.
We made it. We got the Grey Cup coming into studio in just a few minutes, and hopefully Corey Mace will play the morning mystery with us as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Last time we did that, Trevor Harris played with us, and he made fun of producer Nathan.
Oh,
saying that it was hard, remember?
That's right. Well, I mean, the riders have been really good at answering the morning mysteries.
They've been very, very good. Yeah, well, so stay tuned for that. If you're heading out the door, set your PVR. You also want to pay attention to our weather forecast because there's some stuff in it you want to know about. Let's get to news, and that begins with praise and discontent, even a resignation after the federal government's energy agreement with Alberta on a future pipeline to the West Coast. The Prime Minister and Alberta Premier signed a memorandum of understanding in Calgary yesterday, which lays out the conditions for a new oil pipeline to be approved under the new federal major projects law. Among them, Indigenous co-ownership and collaboration with BC to share the benefits. There has to be a new carbon pricing agreement, and the Pathways Carbon Capture Project has to move forward for the pipeline to do the same.
To be full partnership, including equity ownership, substantial economic benefits with First Nations in Alberta, First Nations in British Columbia.
This agreement includes a clear path to the construction of an over 1 million barrel per day Indigenous co-owned bitumen pipeline to Asian markets.
Alberta has until July 1st to submit a pipeline project application to the new Major Projects Office. If all conditions are met, then the federal government will make an adjustment to the oil tanker ban on the BC coast. Heritage Minister Stephen Guilbeault stepped down from cabinet after that deal was signed. He's the former environment minister, and some of those laws, environmental ones, he helped put in place and says they were watered down under the agreement. Guilbeault will stay on as a Liberal MP. BC's Premier, meanwhile, responded to the announcement, calling it fictional.
Opponent, no route, no money, no First Nation support. We need to make sure that this project doesn't become an energy vampire.
BC's Premier says the deal is a drain on federal resources, a distraction from real projects, and says it's missing critical consultation, adding the first step needs to be for the Prime Minister to sit down with coastal First Nations who have already said they are opposed to the project.
Everything in our power to protect our coast from a real threat of an oil spill. There is no technology that can clean up an oil spill. We will never consent to allowing oil tankers in our coastal waters.
According to a recent survey, public opinion in BC is tilted towards supporting a new pipeline, but First Nations could have the final say. Other critics believe BC would be taking all of the risk, while Alberta would get all of the reward. Thursday was day 3 of budget deliberations in Saskatoon. Jeremy Dodge tracking it all for us. What happened yesterday?
Well, Council, Daryl, made its way through more than 100 ways to reduce a property tax increase for the next 2 years. Let's check in with Keenan Sorokhan for the breakdown.
These are some uncomfortable topics to talk about. So I know they're difficult for council, they're difficult for the administration.
Saskatoon City Council continued to work through its big list, combing through 108 ways to increase revenue/expenses and ultimately lower an incoming property tax increase. Bus fares will be going up. After remaining static for the last decade, low-income earners will see no change, while students will see as high as an 11% rise, similar to many other categories. An adult annual pass will now cost more than $1,000, with fares increasing in 2027 as well.
Unfortunately, the gist of the 5 recommendations before you is simply to maintain the current fare structure.
Clipperton wasn't pleased with administration deciding on the sweeping changes after 2 months of work with limited engagement.
The process was far too condensed, and so we'd like to see things other than just a simple here's a 25-cent 5% increase in the fare.
Golf course fees will also be rising, with city courses providing a return on investment going forward, and getting kids signed up for swimming lessons might be easier. Starting in 2027, out-of-towners will need to spend more to learn to swim in Saskatoon. There was also a number of items council wouldn't go near. Outdoor pools will stay open as usual, with prices remaining the same, and the 60-year-old George Ward pool will stay open, but the city says it's due for a replacement in 5 years. Water rates are going up another 5% outside of property taxes, and council argued back and forth, but ultimately decided not to charge for people needing repeated lift assists from the fire department as they reviewed the program.
It feels super icky, and I think the public expects us to do this as part of our job.
Council also worked through a number of items in its capital reserve fund to decide which projects will receive funding over the next 2 years. Keenan Sorakan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Of course, you can find full details on all the budget deliberations on our website. Daryl, a man accused of killing a woman riding in a vehicle on Saskatchewan highway has been denied bail.
Chris Feldman is accused of second-degree murder in the death of Tanya Myers. She was a passenger in that moving vehicle you mentioned on Highway 39 near Weyburn when she was fatally shot September 12th. The bail decision out of Weyburn was handed down Wednesday after a 2-day hearing last week. The details are under a publication ban. Feldman is due back in court December 9th. One of the 2 U.S. National Guard members who were shot in Washington has now died.
She was savagely attacked. She's dead. She's not with us. Incredible person. Outstanding in every single way, in every department.
Sarah Beckstrom was 20 years old. She had enlisted in 2023 and volunteered to work over U.S. Thanksgiving. Beckstrom and 24-year-old Andrew Wolf were shot while on patrol near the White House. The motive, it remains unclear. The attack on 2 National Guards members is intensifying the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. The U.S. will now start re-examining some green cards issued to people from 19 countries. They're now going to be looked at. The countries include Afghanistan, Chad, the Republic of Congo, and more. The administration calls them countries of concern. The U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services said it will now take into consideration negative country-specific factors, including whether the country is able to issue secure identity documents. Authorities in BC say there were no survivors after a small plane crashed on Vancouver Island early this morning. RCMP say they responded to a call of a plane going down in a wooded area southeast of Nanaimo around 3 a.m., approximately 8 kilometers from the local airport. No word on how many people were on board at this time. The investigation is ongoing. It is Black Friday, and although it may not be as busy in stores, people will be shopping, and south of the border may be slower than last year in some ways.
Tightening of the budget, we really see coming from concerns about rising prices, as well as concerns about the future outlook of the economy over the next 6 to 12 months.
Night lineups and fights over TV seem to be a thing of the past. They were fun videos to watch, though, thanks to the rise of online shopping. But there is a bit of a dip. The National Retail Federation believes around 187 million people will shop online or in store between now and Cyber Monday, which is fewer than the record number of people it reported last year. That being said, they're also expecting people that are shopping to spend a little more this year. Meanwhile, experts are also warning people about manipulative sales tactics such as buy one, get one free. They suggest the regular price may be inflated to discount the second one. While if some websites say only 2 left in stock, that could be a tactic to force a panic response from you, the shopper. Men's semifinal at the Montana's Canadian curling trials. Matt Dunstone taking on Magic Mike McEwen. Dunstone trailing in 6, looking to score big.
Save it 1, save it 2, save it 3, touch it, they got it. Pistol.
The Sheriff only qualified thanks to Brad Gushu loss. He leads all the way to 10, looking at a wild house. Look at that with his last. Trying to grab a piece of the button to sit 2, and precision from the #1 ranked Canadian men's team. Pressure now on Magic Mike. Down 3 with a hammer. Needs to pull off a circus shot, but it is not to be. Dunstone will play Jacobs in the best-of-3 final to decide who represents Canada at the Olympics. Make the final 9-5. All right. right, let's give some stuff away, Kayleen.
All right, I love doing that. Riley Green, Lainey Wilson, and Creed headline Country Thunder Saskatchewan for 2026. We want you to be a part of that excitement. Enter on our website for a chance to win a pair of general admission weekend passes. Don't text us, don't email us. Visit that website and enter. All right, let's turn our attention now over to the weather picture here. The sun obviously not up yet. We're not going to be seeing that until about 8:30 to 8:40 later on this morning. Temperatures cooler to start the day, -12. We are starting to see a little bit of those flakes, but mainly when we're going to be seeing those down towards the south is later on into the afternoon for around Regina. Down in the southwest, though, already starting to see those this morning. Throughout the central zone, also going to be seeing some flakes in just a little bit. -8 to wake us up in Saskatoon with that cloud cover and very low winds right now. The wind's not going to be increasing all too much this afternoon. A little bit stronger than what we saw yesterday, but nothing to be concerned about. Radar and satellite showing that we, again, have already started to see that system making its way in overnight. Later on into the later parts of the morning, we see it really concentrating down in the southwest. However, we do see it extending up towards areas just east of Saskatoon and east of Prince Albert. Saskatoon going to be seeing it at about 9 a.m. according to our radar right now, and then pushing down towards the south for the afternoon. Regina going to be seeing it at different parts throughout the afternoon and into the evening hours, and the last little bit of this system is going to be clinging to areas around Estevan down in the southeast before exiting the province as we make our way towards Saturday morning. This is at about 8:45 tomorrow, so no more precipitation, but we are talking about that heavy amount of cloud cover to carry us into our Saturday and Sunday. Current temperatures now, we're seeing -13 for Buffalo Narrows, -8 in Prince Albert right now, -11 in Hudson Bay. Down towards the south, we're seeing -11 in Assiniboia and Weyburn and Moose Jaw and Yorkton, -14 through Estevan this hour, and -9 in Wynyard. Your 7-day forecast showing that we're going to be seeing a high of -7 in Regina today, with those flurries dropping down tomorrow, though, to -13. -14 on Sunday, again, keeping in mind that it's going to be feeling cooler with that wind chill. -11 on Monday, and then some more flurries on the way for Tuesday when temperatures warm up slightly to about -4, -13 on Wednesday, and -5 on Thursday. Again, we could be seeing some of those flurries on that day. In Saskatoon, -10 is the high today, definitely below that seasonal average. Again, seeing some of those flurries earlier on in the morning hours, but then pushing off for the afternoon. We're just going to be seeing those clouds in the late afternoon. -14 on Saturday, -15 on Sunday, and then some more snow returning for Monday and Tuesday. A little bit of a break on Wednesday afternoon. However, right now our radar is showing that throughout those overnight hours, we could be seeing those flurries picking up again and then continuing on into Thursday. If you're heading out the door right now, I hope you're bundling up because the rural forecast is looking cold and snowy today. -10 is the high for Watrous with those flurries. Wynyard, -7. Down towards the south, some more of those flakes. In fact, we're seeing the most of the snow today down in the southwest. Maple Creek up to -7 today, -9 in Rockland, -8 for Coronach, and -7 for Broadview. Mainly cloudy there today. Could just be seeing a little bit of those flakes. Now let's take a look at Blaine Lake, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. The high this afternoon, -10. Some flurries, of course, throughout the afternoon hours, and winds only slightly stronger than what we saw yesterday, coming in up to about 30 kilometers per hour.
Let's go back out now to Mike Siona, who is shining a light on a great program that spreads holiday joy to students and families across Saskatoon. Mike.
All right, we are down here at the Christmas store YXC, a really cool initiative and partnered not only with the volunteers that run the organization, but the Greater Saskatoon Catholic Schools, who donated this wonderful, wonderful space here at the Old St. Francis School. I'm here with Ethan Fraser, and we're talking about how it works. So we know that the kids get to come and shop, essentially for free, pick out a gift, but to make sure that they don't screw it up or they don't forget somebody, they each have their own list, is that right?
Yep, so they got their own list, and it'll say dad, mom, brother, sister, marked as whatever, and we'll take them around the store, and let's say dad's an Oilers fan. We have Oilers stuff, we have tools, we have everything that we need to complete the mission of getting the kids all the gifts.
Oh, that's fantastic. Let's have a peek at that. I mean, you don't need to specifically look at it, and this is just a fake sample list, but like you mentioned here, right, it says you've got a classmate that you're given for, and you said, Dad, likes tools and the Oilers, so you would exactly what you say. You'd pop over here.
And you'd get them the gift, and they'd take it, and you'd mark it off the list, and away they go.
Fantastic. And then from there, they wrap it up, and then the kids take it home for Christmas.
Yep, exactly.
I absolutely love that. Really, really cool. Let's have a look at this thing here, Ethan, and see what one lucky dad out there, I'm sure, probably one of the early ones, I would think. A little biased. I'm an Oilers fan, but there you go. Pretty cool. And, of course, if they want to get involved, if people still want donations, it's not too late, right?
Yep. You have until December 4th to get the donations in.
Perfect. Go to at the Christmas Store YXC. I'm just looking around this place. It's so good. At the Christmas Store YXC on social media to have a look at how you can donate. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here, but hey, we always need more. And the more stuff we get, the more choice, the more the shopping experience is fulfilled.
Hi everyone, Mark Rowe inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. We go to Baltimore, where the Ravens were hosting the Bengals. Joe Burrow back from his injury, battling with turf toe. He doesn't miss a beat, tosses it up to Tanner Hudson, who makes the great one-handed grab for the touchdown. Burrow had 261 yards and 2 touchdowns in the upset over Baltimore. And that is your must-see moment from Thursday. And today on TSN, more football. Black Friday football. The Bears taking on the Eagles. Pre-game at 1:30 Eastern. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
Camera appearances are the best camera appearances.
Hi.
One lucky Saskatchewan resident, now a proud owner of a brand new home.
The winning ticket number is 10027282, and the winner, congratulations to Christian Flaman of Regina.
Congratulations to Christian Flaman. They are the grand prize winner of the Hospitals of Regina Home Lottery Grand Prize. It's a $1.7 million home in the Creeks. All the proceeds go to support health care in Regina's hospitals and facilities. So
beautiful
thank you for your
house.
support. Yeah.
So this begs the question, would you move in or would you sell it?
Does it come furnished is my question.
Yes, it comes completely furnished.
Yeah.
Okay, so that helps. I think you probably move in for a little bit, right?
I'd need to know the property taxes.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking too, yeah. See if it's something you could afford to maintain there.
Savvy veteran move there. Let's talk about products that we'd love to support.
Yeah, so specifically a product that you will never buy the off-brand for. You have to buy the name brand for it. A few answers coming in already. Not a lot, so we do want you to think about this as we talk. Nathan saying Tostitos when it comes to the tortilla chips. That's one I don't understand. I get the off-brand tortilla chips. I think they taste the same, don't they?
I agree with this ketchup answer.
Yeah, okay, so a couple ones for name brand. I only buy Heinz ketchup. You know, you try other, but Heinz is the best. And then Kleenex, of course, we talked about that one earlier on in the show. Ketchup has to be Heinz. And for morning news, it's got to be CTV, Your Morning Saskatchewan. Lori, we love you.
Yeah.
Lori, bonus points for getting the new show name right. I love that. Text your name and your answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply, or you can scan the QR code on your screen. The Grey Cup is on its way to studio. We'll have that for you in just a minute.
Oh, boy.
The S&P 500 was on course for its first monthly loss since April before a technical outage at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange disrupted trading. A data center fault affected multiple markets, including crude oil and Treasury futures. Now, the issue has already run longer than a similar outage caused by a technical error in 2019. Crews are working to restore it. India and Canada will resume discussions on a comprehensive economic partnership agreement next week. This, according to India's Commerce and Industry Minister. The development comes after Canada had paused negotiations in 2023 amid tensions triggered by allegations made by then Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Relations started thawing after Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India met with Mark Carney on the sidelines of the G7 summit in June. And an early snowfall in some regions seems to have got people into the Christmas spirit, even as some trees will be more expensive than last year. David Thibault from Treesy International says demand has exceeded expectations. Sales at his company are up between 15% and 20% over last year. Those are your morning business headlines for B&M Bloomberg. I'm Roger Peterson.
All right, time for your morning mystery. We've got our pads ready to go. It is a thing today. 3 clues coming at you. You can guess along with us at home. Clue number 1, named after the Roman god of war. Not going to help me.
Yeah.
Second smallest planet in the solar system, if you know your planets.
Oh, no. I don't.
Wait, a thing?
Home to the highest mountain in our solar system, a volcano called Olympus Mons. Okay, so we've got to pick a planet. So you got a 1 in 8. You got 1 in 8 chance.
Yeah.
Planet's a thing.
That's a place.
I feel like this is something that a lot of people know a lot about. It's. I'm going to embarrass myself.
All right. Well, let's go. Ready on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey, we all said Mars.
From here.
What's the answer?
Oh,
the answer is
look at us.
Mars. Today is Red Planet Day, which commemorates the launch of the Mariner 4 spacecraft on November 28, 1964, and celebrates the planet Mars. Also a delicious chocolate bar.
Delicious.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
School Day forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol. Working together to keep our school zones safe. We're already seeing some flurries throughout the province this morning. So definitely bundle up if you're heading out the door. We're actually getting colder already in Regina. We're at -12 right now, -8 up in Saskatoon, -9 by lunch in Regina though, and -10 at that time in Saskatoon. That is the expected daytime high, so we're still going to be sitting at -10 in Saskatoon by that final bell, and by final bell in Regina at -7, seeing some more of those flurries. Let's head on over to those gas prices in Regina. The common price, $128.9. The lowest you might find this morning is $102.9. The common price in Saskatoon, $123.9. And the lowest you might find is $114.9. Over to the farm markets now, where we find the street price of canola starting the day at $587.92 per ton. And the futures price at $651.30 per ton. Amber Durham wheat at $285.94 per ton. And red spring wheat at $250.80 per ton. And the Canadian dollar is trading up this morning. It's now at 71.26 cents US. After the break, the Grey Cup is here. Stay with us for that.
Welcome to your morning. The Grey Cup is in the house. It is on set. Corey Mace is standing by. First, we are going to tell you about a Saskatchewan first, a Canada first as well. A successful drilling of natural hydrogen in a well. It was recently completed near Central Butte. Jacob Carr leads us off.
Another renewable energy source could soon be coming to the forefront in Canada. Near the beginning of November, Max Power Mining Corporation successfully drilled Canada's first dedicated natural hydrogen well near Central Butte. The company's incoming CEO says energy is like a buffet, with every sector playing its part.
You need nuclear, you need coal, you need gas, you need hydro, you need wind. If you look at recently, the power consumption is getting higher and higher. It's not lower. By 2050, the world population is going to be 9 billion people.
Steve Halliburton, the chief geoscientist with Max Power, has been an exploratory geologist for over 40 years. Part of what drew him to the company was a new resource to learn about.
Part of it is the intellectual challenge. It's a bit like a chess game. Exploration is a process. The Earth does not give up its resources easily.
Halliburton admits that there will be challenges as natural hydrogen is new territory for the Max Power team, but he is looking forward to that challenge.
It's a way of giving back to the province. If I can play some role in developing a new resource industry, then, man, I can't think of anything better to give back to the province.
Narayana Samy says the use of natural hydrogen to supply data centers could save a large amount of energy and water.
Imagine if we can able to find a natural hydrogen and we use the natural hydrogen for supplying to the data centers, which is empowered by artificial intelligence. It's going to be a big win for all of us.
According to Halliburton, the Max Power team has at least 6 concept sites to test for natural hydrogen in the near future. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
Promised he'd bring it home. Here it is. It's the Grey Cup in studio. Corey Mace, how does it feel to be Grey Cup championship head coach, Corey Mace?
Oh, it's just, I feel like the rest of the province, man, just elated. So cool to be a part of this and for this fan base and that group of guys. Man, this is everything that we wanted.
You set it down in front of me, and I'm staring at the 1989 plate. I go over a couple, and there's the 2014 Calgary Stampeders plate, which you're on because you're a player. Was it sweeter to win it as a player? Is it sweeter to win as a head coach? You've also got it as a coordinator.
Yeah.
Are they unique in their own ways?
I think so. That's probably the best way to put it. They're unique in their own ways. You know, winning it as a player for your first time, you know, that was an emotional one. Now, as a head coach here, this is probably the best one, man. Just being able to see how important it is to everybody. What an experience.
We live down the street from each other, so I see you all the time. And what I love about this is that you win the Grey Cup one day, and you just go back to being a goofy dad the next day. Yeah. The video we can show you here from your wife's Instagram of you just hanging out with your daughter. You won the Grey Cup like 2 days before. This is the wrong video. Show the other one, Corey. Go to the other one. This is not what his daughter's going to do.
There was a lot of that going on too.
We got your son doing his favorite touchdown dance.
Well, see, our guys, that's what I told them. You know, they're superheroes in my house. You know, my kids know all the celebrations. Goofy, man. What a time. What a time. But yeah, this is awesome.
This was all
yeah, this is trust me.
All about.
It was whether it was my choice or not. You know, we all have bosses, and mine is 5 feet tall, and she goes by Petra.
Yeah.
So I had stuff to do when I got back.
Of course you did. Of course you did. And one of the things you had to do in the course of all of this is Toronto was looking for a head coach, and you had to address rumors that you might leave town and go there.
Yeah. Listen, this is the best job for our sport in the country. So you're going to have to kick me out.
I don't think they're going to do that anytime soon because the confetti was flying just a couple of days ago. We talked to J.O. the other day. He's already turning his attention to next year. Are you as well?
Yeah, you know, we've already had some meetings and stuff about plan of attack for what these next few weeks are going to look like and getting the calendar ready for the off season for everybody. I was doing that yesterday, so it doesn't stop. But there's plenty of time, you know, for us to try to let it soak in. But as coaches and GMs, that's I think what makes us maybe a little crazy is that we're always trying to look. Can we do it again? How can we continue to stay a winner? So it is what it is, but. Man, we love what we do.
Have you made any calls to Ohio to a certain quarterback who?
Yeah, no. He called. We text. We're always in conversation. So yeah, we're about 6 months apart. So we'll be just sharing birthday messages too. Yeah, what a player, man. What a human being.
Where are you taking it? Where's next?
This is going to a school.
Share it with everybody, right?
Well, look, it was at Agribition last night. Shout out. That was awesome. The rodeo was awesome. Then it stayed at the Casa de Mace. Now it's going to go with Mr. O'Day. It's going to head to I think Regina Catholic maybe.
That's the cool part. You get to share with everybody.
Man, it's been everywhere. It's been in probably 10 schools. It's so cool. Yes, I saw that.
A few karaoke bars.
These guys have been enjoying. They've been enjoying it in the night, and in the day it's with the kids, which is what it's supposed to be. But
that's what it's all about.
Awesome, man.
Thanks for doing it. Congratulations. We wish you the best of luck in putting just one more on there next year.
Excellent. Appreciate you guys.
All right, over to the Weather Center now, where we're still seeing the sun not quite up this morning. Not going to be seeing that until about 8:30 to 8:40. So we still have another hour here of the calm. Minus 12 to wake us up in Regina. We do have just a few flurries in the area this morning. Also starting to see those in Saskatoon as well, where we're waking up to -8. So bundle up on your way out the door this morning. Futurecast showing that we are going to be seeing the system in the province for the rest of the day, really. Saskatoon going to be seeing it until the later parts of the morning. morning and then pushing away from the central zone down towards the south for a lot of the afternoon. Swift current is where we're going to be seeing a lot of that snow falling. And then it's going to be tracking towards the east. The last little piece of that system going to be impacting us in Regina and then down through Estevan into those overnight hours. By Saturday morning, this is at about 9 a.m. Not really talking about the precipitation anymore, but we are talking about that heavy amount of cloud cover carrying us on into the weekend. By tomorrow morning, here is what we're expecting for the total amount of snowfall on the ground. So this could be falling throughout this afternoon and into the overnight hours as well. Swift currents total about 7 centimeters of snow, about 6 for Moose Jaw, 3 for Regina, Yorkton, and about 6 centimeters expected for Estevan. Only about 1 expected for Saskatoon, so not as much, and about 2 centimeters expected for Prince Albert. Along with that system, with those flurries, temperatures below the seasonal average today. Swift current peaking at -8, -7 for Moose Jaw, Regina, Yorkton, and Prince Albert, -10 up in Saskatoon, and -8 expected for Weyburn and Estevan later on this afternoon. Now, if you're wondering just how normal that is, well, -4.3 is the average for Regina, -5.7 for Saskatoon. However, we're not as cold as what we saw last year on this day, where Regina reached -20 and Saskatoon at -20.9. The record back in the year 1901, 10.6 for Regina, and in 2002, that was 9.6 for Saskatoon. 5-day forecast showing that we do have some more flurries on the way. It's just for our next work week. Tuesday in Regina, we're expecting some more flurries with temperatures warming up slightly to about -4 that afternoon. And in Saskatoon, -14 and -15 for your weekend. So it is going to be cold. More flurries on the way for your next work week. -12 on Monday and -10 on Tuesday.
Christmas party season is nearly upon us, and we want to make sure you look your best. That's why we've got Aaron at Colin O'Brien Man's Shop here for a couple of different looks. And let's start with something a little more casual.
Yeah, so what we did today is we put together 2 different looks. This jacket is a little more playful. You're thinking Christmas party, dinner party. Maybe not something you wear to the office. It's just a little more fun, a little more playful. It's a flannel, almost like a boiled wool. Think hoodie with lapels, super comfortable, super stretchy, a little warm and cozy. We also decided to style this as the weather turns, not quite too cool. Maybe you don't want to take a jacket to the party, but you still need something. So we've layered this with a quarter-zip sweater, nice little sport shirt underneath. It gives you that I'm still dressed but warm and cozy type look. Paired it with a cotton pant, so it's not a suit per se, a little bit casual but still acceptable to wear to a party.
Take me to the belt and to the shoes.
We've done a black boot with a pebbled leather Vibram sole. It's got a rubber sole on it as opposed to a leather, so it's going to keep your foot a little bit warmer, a little more protection against ice and slipping. And we matched this nice pebbled black belt with it to match the leather of the boot.
How do I know I can get away with the shirt and with the sweater?
Basically, you're trying to take little color pieces from everything. So the gray check in the jacket gives into that gray silvery quarter zip, and then the shirt again with the little black dots brings out the black in the check of the jacket. It's just pulling little matchy pieces.
Maybe I work at somewhere a little fancier. The party setting is a little fancier. Take us through this.
Right, so we've been so engulfed in nothing but blue, 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 as you see here. But new colors in fashion are coming forward. You're seeing a lot of black come back. You're seeing a little bit of burgundy, and pine green has become one of the bigger push colors in menswear between summer and winter. So what we did with this, again, in the theme of cozy, winter, warm, we did a black roll neck. So it's basically what you would have called a turtleneck. Nice and thin, not going to be too hot, but with this suit being milled, meaning that it's a little thicker fabric. A little black and green mixture, black turtleneck, and a really nice gray shoe just to give it a little bit of a contrast. It's that warm, cozy, big chair, maybe by the fireplace at the lounge of the hotel kind of look.
Yeah, the accessories are nice too.
And always, pocket square, ties have become a little less relevant in our days outside of weddings, but I always feel with something, if you're not going to be wearing a collared shirt, a pocket square just pulls a little bit of your own personality into the outfit.
What if you want to add some color to this look? Can you do that?
You most certainly can. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the light blue shirt, wool tie of sorts. I just use the black because I think the black really punches the green out of the suit color.
And when can I use these again? We're talking Christmas today, but you want to be able to...
day-to-day option. It's just a little more elevated with the turtleneck. I don't know that you find that being worn to the office as frequently. Great party look, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with a white shirt open collar, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with wearing this with a pair of jeans and a white t-shirt if you're going out with the girlfriend or the wife for dinner on a Saturday night.
We've got a little bit of help here in just a couple of minutes, but you can help people every day in your storefront. How do they get here? What do they find?
1825 Hamilton Street and ColinO'Brien.com.
All right, we're getting your Christmas party ready. Next week, we're going to talk about accessories, the pocket squares, the ties, the things that you want to get dad, your husband, your uncle, your brother for Christmas.
Wardrobe consideration by Colin O'Brien Man's Shop. defining contemporary style for over 20 years.
Here's what's happening in our community. The Mistletoe Market happens Saturday, November 29th at 11 a.m. at the Westminster United Church, 3025 13th Avenue. Call 306-533-0601. All you can eat pierogies and sausage Sunday, November 30th, 4:30 p.m. at the Melville Curling Club. Call 306-607-9207. Sports World Collectible Show Sunday, November 30th, starting at 10 a.m. at the Hungarian Club, 1925 McCarra Street. Sports World at SaskTel.net for more. Regina Little Theater's Miracle performances December 3rd through 6th at the Performing Arts Center, 1077 Angus Street. Christmas tea and bake sale happening Thursday, December 4th at 10 a.m. in Kenora, 229 5th Avenue West. If you'd like your event shown here, email us, reginacommunity@bellmedia.ca, but please do so at least 2 weeks in advance.
But I keep coming back like a revolving door. Said I don't want you less, but I just want you more. Said I keep coming back. The way you got me all in my head. Think I'd rather you in my bed.
All right, let's head back over to the Brant Center and check in with Janelle Lipai for the second last day of Agribition.
That's right. Hi and good morning. We are continuing our fun over here. I've got Brian with me back again with the Horizon School Division. Now, Brian, let's talk a little bit about some of those teachings that you guys offer over here in your area.
Yeah, so we're very pleased to offer educational programming around treaty education reconciliation. And my staff does a great job of providing that and corresponding and working with all the school-age kids that come by and the regular people that stop in as well.
Of course. It's great to see all of this happening in the same area. It's very convenient, so make sure you're popping in today and tomorrow. Now, we're also over in the presentation area. You guys bring schools in here. You sit kids down and you show them things. Tell me a little bit about that as well.
Yes, so this year we're part of registered programming. Schools pre-registered to come to our presentations. We run 3 presentations a day. We have one at 10 o'clock, one at 11 o'clock, and our 1 o'clock is really exciting and probably the most successful because we have the Quacatoos Boys Dance Troupe, and they do a great job of showcasing our traditional dances and so forth.
That's incredible. How have you seen schools and students themselves respond to all of this?
Oh, it's been exciting. They're very excited to be here. They have lots of questions, and when they're here, they're more than eager to be involved. They want to get on the floor and they want to dance as well, and so forth.
Awesome, Brian. All right, and one more time here. Where can people find you? Where are you located right here at Agribition?
Okay, we are in the Heritage Link area on the west concourse of the Brant Center. Come and see us. We have Indigenous arts and craft vendors. We've got booths. We've got presentations. We've got lots going on. It's been a great week so far.
All right, Brian, thank you so much. You and I are going to be back once again very soon.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, Janelle, thank you very much. We'll check back in with you very soon as well.
It's November 28th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Super Bowl champion and former Rough Rider John Ryan. We hope this birthday is the best one yet. Enjoy. This photo came in our inbox to say happy birthday to Indiana Jones. Lots of love coming from your mom, dad, and brother. Have a great day. And more birthday wishes going out to Montana. We hope you have an awesome day and an even better year to come. Happy birthday. We're also wishing a big happy birthday to Madeline. She's turning 17 years old. We hope you have a fabulous fabulous day with lots of love from your mom, dad, Jake, Leo, and Cookum. And turning 75 is Sylvia. Happy birthday to you. All of your Boondocks friends are sending you love and well wishes for your special day. Happy birthday also going out to Ophelia. She's turning 5 years old today. Have a wonderful day with lots of love from your friends and family. And looking forward to the weekend now. A big happy birthday going out to Cohen for his 3rd birthday tomorrow. Lots of love coming from the whole family. Tomorrow is also John's birthday. Happy birthday with love and well wishes for this year. And this coming from your family and friends. Now, if you have anything that you would want to celebrate, send us your milestones to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca. You can also scan that QR code on your screen right now, but please make sure you send those in one day in advance.
We got to hang out with the Grey Cup, something your Edmonton Elks have not done for a long time.
Actually, it's the 10-year anniversary tomorrow of the last time that the Elks won a Grey Cup. But who's counting? A decade's nothing. It goes by super fast.
Sure it does. What's going on the radio?
It's fine. It's fine.
Real feelings.
I'm just wiping tears here. We're going to give away some more CCMA tickets. I just gave away a pair to Rachel. Actually, Daryl, we're going to play a quick game with you here, too, because this is how Rachel won it. We're playing Made in Canada. I give you 3 inventions, and you tell me if they were made in Canada or elsewhere, if they are invented. So, Daryl, first one, Pizza Pops. Invented in Canada or elsewhere?
That's Canadian.
Winnipeg, absolutely. IMAX, in Canada or elsewhere?
That's also Canadian.
And Trivial Pursuit?
That's also Canadian. That's a trick question. You got
also
all 3.
Canadian. All 3 were in Canada. You got 3 out of 3. Rachel got 2 for 3. We'll have some more inventions and another round coming up after 8:30, so the next person can win their way to the CCMAs.
We're just out on Highway 1 at Tower. I know you've been here. You can just drop my prize off. It'll be great.
All right, we'll get another pair somewhere else for the CCMAs. Daryl has this
I'll share with Kayleen, I promise.
There we go.
James Van Der Beek is giving fans the opportunity to take home memorabilia from his most well-known characters to raise money for his cancer treatments. A jersey from the movie Varsity Blues is going up for auction next month, as well as items from his time as the title character on Dawson's Creek. He was diagnosed with colorectal cancer in 2023. Dick Van Dyke reflects on his life and storied career as he gets ready to turn 100 next month. In an interview with People, he says he still feels like a teenager and makes a point to keep a sunny disposition. Van Dyke also celebrating a new book called 100 Rules for Living to 100. He'll reach his centennial on December 13th. On this day in 1992, Whitney Houston's version of I Will Always Love You starts its winning streak on the Billboard Hot 100. The single would go on to spend 14 weeks in the top spot, a record at the time. And happy birthday to Judd Nelson. The Brat Pack actor turns 66. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Jeremy, what's in our sidebar today?
Okay, so American Thanksgiving is all done. That means the Christmas season gets to start to take over, especially in New York. So we've got the Grinch chasing a screaming Christmas tree on the subway train.
I still think it's funny.
Getting tons of views online, but the passengers aren't fazed at all because this is just what happens on the New York subway.
It's New York. What else can you ask for?
That guy on the left is like, I'm just going to let you get out of the way.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh, I just want to go to work.
Careful. Back to my podcast on true crime. Finding out you're pregnant can be quite a surprise like this.
Oh my God, you're pregnant. Oh my God, congrats.
Even in the animal kingdom, congratulations to this, quote, very honorable cat.
Oh.
Looks thrilled.
I'm sure she'll be taken very good care of.
Tickled.
She's surprised. I wasn't expecting this.
Oh, how could this have happened?
All right, one last one for you. As parents understand, kids are always coming up with the best excuses.
Did you brush your teeth yet? Mommy,
you stuffing baseball bats or bats that play baseball?
Okay, but you still have to brush your teeth. Did you brush your teeth?
I mean, the kid has a point.
Sure.
Using the distraction technique.
We all misunderstand things from time to time. Time to go to break. We'll be back right after this. It's Friday, November 28th.
It's the first step, I think, of what will be a few more steps we have to take together, but I'm very pleased that the Prime Minister has heard our concerns.
Ottawa's Memorandum of Understanding with Alberta to build a pipeline to the West Coast is sparking frustration in BC communities.
Because we were hearing from families and from childcare operators that while they appreciated affordable, sustainable childcare, that there were also some things there that weren't working for them. So we wanted to negotiate that with the federal government.
Provincial and federal governments expected to make a formal announcement on an extension for $10 a day daycare starting today.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders and Trevor Harris have won the Grey Cup.
Grey Cup was just here. Producer Nathan took a big old picture. So did Kayleen. We'll hear from head coach Corey May some excerpts in just a couple of minutes. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Happy Friday.
We got to get that picture from producer Nathan. You look very scared to drop it.
Yeah, well, it was heavy. It was much heavier than I thought.
It is a piece of hardware for sure. And it didn't come with a case, which was concerning for me.
No, but
we just walked in, like he buckled it into the front seat and drove around town with it.
We did get a text on the text line to you saying, Daryl, that Grey Cup looks like it's leaning.
Yeah, they do have an order in for a repair.
Yeah, well, celebrations happen. We're excited.
Sometimes you're singing karaoke and it gets a little bit carried away. Yeah, let's get to news and we'll get back to weather. They're telling me you got to start talking about stuff that matters. There's a praise and discontent, even a little resignation following the federal government's energy agreement with Alberta on the future of a pipeline to the West Coast. The Prime Minister and Alberta Premier signed a memorandum of understanding in Calgary yesterday, laying out conditions for a new oil pipeline to be approved under the new federal major projects law. Among them is Indigenous co-ownership and collaboration with BC to share the benefits. There has to be a new carbon pricing agreement, and Pathways Carbon Capture Project has to move forward for the pipeline to do the same.
There needs to be full partnership, including equity ownership, substantial economic benefits with First Nations in Alberta, First Nations in British Columbia.
This agreement includes a clear path to the construction of an over 1 million barrel per day Indigenous co-owned bitumen pipeline to Asian markets.
Alberta has until July 1st to submit a pipeline project application to the office. If all conditions are met, the federal government will then make adjustments to the oil tanker ban on the BC coast. Quebec Liberal MP Stephen Guilbeault resigned from Liberal cabinet yesterday, citing his strong opposition to the federal government's major new energy agreement with Alberta. Guilbeault's decision was sudden, but not entirely a shock to those familiar with the former Environment Minister's dedication to fighting climate change.
Since he was with Greenpeace before, I guess that was the move he had to do. I guess maybe his values don't align with the party anymore. So yeah, I figure that's the right move he just did.
Everybody building the pipelines. Why we cannot?
I think it's a pretty good thing. Like my county doesn't have a lot of formation on environment and doesn't give a lot for environment, and it's the old. I think it's the old old Minister of Environment, Stephen Guilbeault.
In BC, the Premier is calling the project a distraction, and coastal First Nations are suggesting the pipeline is a pipe dream. Andrew Johnson has reaction.
Flanked by his flag-waving caucus, BC Premier David Eby responded to the pipeline deal he was left out of for a project he calls fictional.
No proponent, no route, no money, no First Nation support. We need to make sure that this project doesn't become an energy vampire.
Eby labels the deal a drain on federal resources, a distraction from real projects, and missing critical consultation.
The first step, in my opinion, that has to happen is that the Prime Minister needs to sit down with coastal First Nations.
Coastal First Nations are clear in their opposition to a project they say could destroy their way of life.
We'll do everything in our power to protect our coast from a real threat of an oil spill. There is no technology that can clean up an oil spill. We will never consent to allowing oil tankers in our coastal waters.
The reaction from Northwest BC, the region also already at the center of multiple LNG and mining projects, is, according to one mayor, mixed.
People definitely want to see growth. We want to see economic activity. We want to see the communities flourish. The one thing about a pipe is, and this project right now that has me a bit concerned, is I see BC taking all the risk and Alberta getting all the reward. So how do we line those up?
Public opinion in BC, according to a recent survey, is tilted towards supporting a new pipeline, but First Nations may have the final say. And as we've seen before in this province, if they are unwilling to sign on, a new pipeline may never materialize. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
The affordability crisis was top of mind as 5 candidates faced off for the first official debate in the race to become the next leader of the federal NDP.
Cost of living right now for Canadians is skyrocketing.
But we're getting squeezed while billionaires are cashing in.
Unless we start fixing our relationship with the first past the post electoral system, none of this will come to pass.
We need
Rob Ashton, Tennille Johnston, Avi Lewis, Heather McPherson, and Tony McQuail all took the stage in Montreal, tackling everything from winning back the working class to reconciliation and building support in Quebec. The debate began with a plan to be 60% in French, but most of the debate wound up being in English. The NDP will choose its next leader March 29th in Winnipeg during the party's annual convention. Some confusion in Saskatoon yesterday over a provincial detox center. Jeremy Dodge, what's it all about?
Well, Daryl, Saskatoon will keep funding a provincial detox center, even though some city councillors admitted they don't know where it's located. The confusion came up during day 3 of budget deliberations as councillors looked for ways to cut costs and lower property taxes. Councillors learned the detox center is on Avenue O South, and it's been receiving city funding since 1997. Councillors also learned the city's $108,000 grant actually just goes to the provincial government, which operates the facility.
This feels to me like something that is very, very exclusively in their lane for the health authority and the provincial government, and I'm not even sure why we would have been providing this grant in the first place.
Councillors voted to cut the grant to the detox center in half next year and then eliminate it entirely by 2027. For a detailed account of other discussions on day 3 of city budget deliberations, you can head to our website. A former Saskatoon police officer charged with assault has had his matters rescheduled until next month. Dylan Kemp charged with assault following an investigation by the Saskatchewan Serious Incident Response Team. The agency began the investigation after it was notified by Saskatoon police in September of 2024 regarding an alleged off-duty incident involving several officers. After reviewing evidence and interviewing witnesses, Kemp was arrested October 30th. He was scheduled to appear in court Thursday, but this matter was moved to December 16th. Well, the man accused of killing a woman riding in a vehicle on a Saskatchewan highway has been denied bail, Daryl.
That's right. Chris Fallman accused of second-degree murder in the death of Tanya Myers, who was a passenger in that Highway 39 vehicle near Weyburn, fatally shot September 12th. The bail decision out of Weyburn was handed down Wednesday after a 2-day hearing. The details of the hearing under a publication ban. Fallman is due back in court December 9th. A department at the University of Regina was showcasing their research project at Canadian Western Agribition Thursday. The focus, the amount of naturally produced salt in groundwater used by cattle, which can impact the animal's health. Damian Smith reports.
The University of Regina Biology Department is looking out for those with agricultural ponds, using their own conductivity meter to measure salinity levels.
We have naturally saline soils and we have saline groundwater that comes in, so it can be a pretty big problem, particularly in dry years.
These bodies of water are needed to feed cattle, especially in an already salty province compared to others in Canada. Finlay recalls a 2017 incident when 200 cattle died from salty water.
As things get warmer and the water evaporates, you've got a lot of salts left behind. So by July and August, the water quality can be problematic. And the issue with salinity is you can't just look at the water and say, is that salty or not? It just looks like water.
A large reason is the sulfate amount situated in Saskatchewan soil. Finlay and her students are now researching how to analyze sulfate levels when planning to dig a dugout.
That sulfate can create some unique issues for livestock. But beyond that, when we get a lot of other things dissolved in the water or available in the water, it can cause some additional problems. So we've also been looking at things like blue-green algae. So whether they can produce toxic algal blooms. You think about the scums that form on the top.
The Ministry of Agriculture understands that geology plays a big factor in a province that needs to keep its cattle healthy. As long as a landowner has a premise identification number, they can receive a free water test.
Then screen out those samples to know whether it's safe or not, and if testing is high, we can send those samples to the lab to get a full analysis and provide interpretation to livestock producers to let them know if their water sources are safe.
Finlay and her students are also researching how toxic algae blooms can affect salinity levels in Saskatchewan. Damian Smith, CTV News, Regina.
Our grasslands, our greenhouses, all of our different operations, self-sustaining over the hump could be extremely profitable. And that's what we're trying to do with all of our...
Also being discussed this year, the potential First Nations and communities have in their own backyards. Instead of looking elsewhere for food resources, a number of places are starting their own operations.
There's a lot of talk of agriculture abroad and agriculture around the world, but at the end of the day, we're in the mecca of agriculture in the world right here, and we're so busy grinding and doing the work that we don't talk about it, we don't highlight it, we don't share all the time that we should be. But really, at the end of the day, we should be super proud of the agriculture sector in this country, and just how do we accelerate it and make it more visible.
Unfortunately, at that night, that's the night we lost.
The Ag Summit will conclude this afternoon. The Grey Cup was in studio last hour. Head coach Corey Mace has now won as a player, coordinator, and head coach, and he says each win was unique in its own way.
So that's probably the best way to put it. They're unique in their own ways. You know, winning it as a player for your first time, you know, that was an emotional one. Now as a head coach here, this is probably the best one, man. Just being able to see how important it is to everybody.
Now, Coach Mace also addressed those rumors that he may leave to Toronto for their vacant head coaching job. Here's what he had to say.
Listen, this is the best job for our sport in the country. So you're going to have to kick me out.
I don't think they're going to do that anytime soon because the confetti was flying just a couple of days ago. We talked to J.O. the other day. He's already turning his attention to next year. Are you as well?
Yeah, you know, we've already had some meetings and stuff about plan of attack for what these next few weeks are going to look like, and getting the calendar ready for the off season for everybody. I was doing that yesterday, so it doesn't stop.
You can stream the full conversation right now on our website if you missed it. Let's get our attention over to the Weather Center. Kayleen, you got a picture. Who'd you send it to?
Well, I sent it to my husband, and he said Toronto tried to steal Coach Mace. So no worries there now.
Yeah,
those rumors have been put to bed.
City thing. Yeah, I think that's a nice little draw. What's going on in the weather today?
Well, the sun is trying to make its way up. It just hasn't made its way up quite yet. It is a cool start to the day as well. It's been fluctuating a bit in Regina. We're at -12 right now, though. Some southeast winds coming in at 19 kilometers per hour. Some flakes in the area, so definitely take note of that if you are heading out on your morning commute. The futurecast, though, showing that we do have some snow on the way. Now, Swift Current going to be seeing most of that snow later on this afternoon, but we are going to be seeing some of it this morning. Down towards the central zone, pushing away from that actually into the afternoon hours, but Saskatoon going to be seeing some of those flakes this morning. Now, we are, as I mentioned, going to be seeing the most down in the southwest, but the southeast also going to be seeing some of those flurries into the overnight hours as well. The last little bit of that system is going to be impacting areas south of Regina and then down through Estevan. And then tomorrow morning, we see that system has fully made its way out of the province, but we are seeing some heavy amounts of cloud cover to start our weekend. Now, this total snowfall here, these numbers include snow that is falling today and through the overnight hours. So by tomorrow morning at about 9:30 a.m., Swift Current going to have about 7 more centimeters of snow on the ground, about 6 centimeters expected for Moose Jaw, 6 for Estevan as well. 3 centimeters expected right now for Regina and Yorkton, and only about 1 expected for Saskatoon and Prince Albert. And that number has gone down in the past few minutes for Prince Albert. So we are already starting to see that system pushing away from that area. Current temperatures now, we're seeing -12 to wake us up in Buffalo Narrows, -12 in La Ronge, -8 in Nipawin, -11 in Hudson Bay, -12 right now for Moose Jaw, -14 in Estevan, and -11 to wake us up in Yorkton. Later on this afternoon, we are seeing temperatures just slightly below the average for this time of year. -8 this afternoon for Swift Current, -8 for Weyburn and Estevan as well. -7 expected for Moose Jaw, Regina and Yorkton, -10 for Saskatoon, and -8 for the Battlefords. Now the 7-day forecast showing that today is not the only day we're expecting to see some flurries for the next week. We do have some more on the way early on into our next work week on Tuesday. Temperatures also going to be a little bit warmer on that day, -4, and then some more on the way for Thursday. That could be starting Wednesday overnight, however. And then Saskatoon in the 7-day forecast, we're seeing again some more flurries starting early next work week, Monday, -12 with some more flurries on the way, -6 on Tuesday, and then some more on the way for Thursday as well as we peak at -5.
November 28th, 2017, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau formally apologized for discrimination by the federal government against it and its agencies against Pride Canadians. November 28th, 2005, the UN Climate Change Conference officially opened in Montreal. And on this day in 1990, Margaret Thatcher resigned as leader of the Conservative Party and as UK Prime Minister.
In case you missed it, Lego is giving us a look inside the busiest place outside of Santa's workshop right now.
So right now we are running every single machine 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. And we will do that for the next up to mid-December, when we then start slowing down. So you could say actually what we produce today, you will see that on the shelf just before Christmas as well.
Wow. Man, I could watch Lego documentaries all day. Now, they are the world's largest toy maker, which maybe isn't that surprising. But here's something, if you haven't heard this before, it's pretty cool. They are also the world's largest tire maker, thanks to how many toy tires they make every year.
Oh, fun fact.
Wow, I would not have guessed that.
They're a cool company too. Mateo's lost a few pieces to different sets, and if you just go on their website and type in the code, whatever, they will send you the brick for free.
Wow.
Yeah. No hassle at all.
Nope, nothing. It shows up in the mail.
Oh, all right. I like hearing that about
companies. Yeah, the stand behind their products. Absolutely. Question of the day.
All right, so we're asking you today, what is one product that you will always buy the name brand of? The off-brand just doesn't do the job. A couple more answers, but we definitely have a runaway favorite this morning. It's Heinz ketchup. It's got to be Heinz ketchup. And fun fact, my dad is actually, his name was Heinz, and so my cousins would call him Uncle Ketchup. So this just fits. This fits. Another answer is saying China Lily soy sauce, which is so funny that this answer came in because I went to take soy sauce out of the fridge the other day. My husband said, oh, good, it's the good brand. I said, is there a good brand of soy sauce?
I just love that you have a personal story for every situation.
I love it. It's great.
There always
You're
will
so
be.
interesting.
I can't stop talking. That's why I started in this career.
Some of them are so wild, too.
Gillette disposable razors. Hey, so this one time.
Yeah, of course.
No, I'm just kidding. Shampoo and conditioner. I can totally understand that one. I've been using the same brand of conditioner for 10 years. Kraft Dinner from Colleen and Robin Hood flour.
Okay.
Another interesting one up there. Kathy saying peanut butter has to be Kraft, ketchup has to be Heinz. Some more answers here. Tostitos. Apparently that's the brand for tortilla chips for Nathan. Again, more Heinz ketchup answers. Kleenex, of course. And morning news. It's got to be CTV Your Morning Saskatchewan.
Which lends me to a question. What is the knockoff brand of CTV Your Morning Saskatchewan? Don't answer that. We're back after this.
We can't really. We shouldn't probably say.
We're back right after this.
In March 20 2021, then 23-year-old Noah Braholi had his first seizure.
I didn't know I had epilepsy until I woke up in the back of an ambulance.
In an effort to avoid future seizures, Braholi was prescribed multiple medications, but none of them worked.
I thought this was just going to be my life now.
That's when Braholi was referred to the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center. Dr. Danielle Becker says the first step was to figure out from where in the brain the seizures were coming.
He came back for something called a stereo EEG, where we actually put electrodes in the brain and we target where we think the seizures are coming from to try to find or pinpoint their onset, or at least a node in their network that seems to be generating these seizures.
Becker says once they found that, Braholi underwent something called a laser ablation, an MRI-guided probe into the area of his brain causing the seizures. That area is heated and removed.
And the idea is to try to remove the tissue that's generating the seizure.
Braholi went through 2 of these surgeries and had his meds switched up. The combination of these things has led to a life he never thought he'd have again.
I have been seizure-free over 400 days now since then.
And to others who have epilepsy not responding to treatments, he has a message.
Always be hopeful, because just because you haven't found it yet doesn't mean you're not going to.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
Well, as we all know, it sure can be difficult to find that perfect gift for your loved ones ahead of the holiday season, which is why Denise Wild joins us now for some memorable gifts for everyone on your list. Good morning.
Good morning, Kayleen. We're ready to shop, we're ready to gift, and just ready for the holidays.
We're excited for the holidays. Let's start with some stocking stuffers for the beauty fans in our lives.
Yes, exactly. So if we're looking for the beauty lover, let's give the gift of fabulous finds. Maybe it's a spa set, hair set, cosmetic brushes and blenders. Winners has brand name gifts for less. Diffusers and essential oils, elevated shave kits, even heated massage products, which I love. I just love their packaging this time of year. It's Luxe Skincare and stocking stuffers. It's the beauty brands that they love without the high-end price. You're always winning when you shop at Winners. I'm in there all the time this time of year. And like I said, the packaging is amazing. You can't go wrong.
Absolutely. All right. For those chasing smooth skin, you've got a new at-home device we should know about.
Yes, absolutely. For anyone who's looking to remove body hair, this is the Braun IPL Pro 5. It is an at-home hair removal device that has amazing results, smooth skin for up to 2 years, and it's really easy to use. You just shave, turn it on, and permanently reduce hair regrowth. It also has a Skin Pro sensor that auto-adjusts to your skin tone, and it's just about breaking free from the hassle of hair removal, from ongoing appointments, from salon costs, all that type of stuff. It's just, really great to give something thoughtful, something meaningful that somebody maybe wouldn't buy for themselves, but that will definitely make their life easier. This is available in-store or online at Shoppers Drug Mart Beauty Boutiques.
What about a nice DIY gift for those sentimental sweethearts?
Right. So if you want to, maybe give a handwritten note or a beautiful, thoughtful card, you can dress it up with a fun envelope. I've just added some glitter paper and googly eyes to turn these envelopes into fun Christmas characters. You can tuck your note or gift card inside, and it just gives an extra special presentation.
All right. We only have 30 seconds left, but we can't forget about our tech lovers.
Yes. So tech for anyone on your, any age, any interest, upgrade tech. Maybe it's, a new set of headphones, or maybe it's even just a cell phone case. Everybody loves a little tech under the tree for Christmas.
All right, Denise Wild, our expert in all things holiday gift giving. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Kayleen. Happy gifting, everyone.
Well, the spirit of giving is what it's all about for Mike Siona this morning. So let's see what he's getting up to now.
Well, one last time down here at the Christmas store YXE, a wonderful initiative, and I'm talking to Nathan Fisher about all of it. Now, there are hundreds of gifts. We talked about the list a little bit earlier. There's like 200 students who are going to come through here with a list. This sample list has 6, so not a math guy, but that means it's like 1,200 gifts potentially, and they're all spread out, kind of organized through different genres and age groups. What's the biggest need right now?
So right now we need the gifts for the 8 to 14-year-olds. We got to make sure all the kids get gifts too, not just their parents, not just the adults, but we'll take those as well. But we definitely need the younger, middle-aged teenagers. We're looking to fill their tables a lot more.
I love that. And obviously we have until the 4th of December to get those gifts in for this year, because the volunteers, you guys got to sort everything, organize everything. I mean, it looks great in here, but 1,200 gifts will go quickly, right? What's it like, as we're looking at some of these pictures here of years past, what's it like when you get the kids in here?
It's hectic, to say the least. We got so many volunteers, so many kids all at the same time, bring them around the room, and they see this room and they get so excited. You got to kind of wrangle them in, lead them to the right places, and yeah, it's a treat to do it every year. But yeah, you just got to bring them to the right places. They can get the gifts they need.
Yeah, it's pretty good. There's got to be like this whoa moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Every time a new kid walks in, you do it with 10 different kids throughout the day, so you get that moment 10 different times.
That's fantastic. I absolutely love it. You still have time to donate and make somebody's Christmas a little brighter. Go to @thechristmasstore.yxe on social media. All of the details on how to donate are there. Tons of pictures. It really is a great opportunity to see the legacy of this program. It's like 20 years in the making here, I understand. And we want to make this Christmas the biggest and brightest. So there you go. That's going to do it for us from the Christmas Store YXE this morning.
Say 8:30, your morning. Thank you for being with us. Prime Minister Mark Carney and Alberta Premier Danielle Smith may have been all smiles as they signed that energy cooperation agreement that laid out conditions for a new bitumen pipeline to the Pacific. But a new polling by Angus Reid suggests the path from paper to pipeline is complex.
Nationally, there is support for this concept. When we ask Canadians, would you support the concept of an Alberta, BC, Northern Pipeline, 60% say yes. Now, that level of support is lower in British Columbia. It's only 53%. And then when you get to asking people who live on Vancouver Island and the north coast of British Columbia, basically where at the terminus of such a pipeline, tanker traffic would presumably come down to get that bitumen to open water, that's where you see the highest level of opposition, the highest level of pushback to such a project.
The agreement includes a carve-out for federal environment laws, including an adjustment to the tanker ban if the project gets to that point. Less than half of those polled by Angus Reid seem to be on the side with those changes, but just 26% of respondents say the carve-out is the right policy, and only 21% are in favor of removing the tanker ban entirely. Meanwhile, 2 in 5 British Columbians say they'd leave the tanker ban in place, and among this group, opposition to the pipeline is nearly unanimous. We have yet to see the wild wintry weather yet, but that can make the roads so dangerous here in Saskatchewan. Yet RCMPs say they've seen a steep jump in fatal collisions this month. Sierra D'Souza Butts with what's behind those numbers.
In the last 8 days, there have been 8 fatal collisions in Saskatchewan.
Obviously, the impact of when someone loses their life on Saskatchewan roadways is affects more than that one person.
From January 1st to November 25th, Mounties have responded to 89 fatal motor vehicle collisions, resulting in the deaths of 94 people on Saskatchewan roads, 11 of those taking place this month alone. RCMP say the main causes of the collisions are people not wearing their seatbelts, distracted driving, speeding, and impaired driving. People not wearing their helmets on ATVs and snowmobiles are a contributing factor as well.
It's a concern to us as police. We're here for traffic safety, and we're trying to get out as being much as visible as we can. Again, like I said, to when people see the police on the road, people's behavior changes. So that's why we're out on the roads right now.
With the holiday season soon approaching and weather conditions expected to become worse, CAA reminds people how important road safety is.
What we tell people to do is plan ahead. Make sure you check out the weather forecast, check out the highway hotline, make sure your vehicle isn't covered in snow, make sure you have a backup plan as far as roadside assistance, make sure you have that emergency kit. Make sure that you're prepared for any type of weather so you have that peace of mind.
With majority of fatal motor vehicle collisions being preventative, the RCMP says it will continue to repeat its safety messages, asking the public to do the same.
When you're on the road, be safe. There's other users of the road. Remember that as well. Wear your seatbelt. Don't drive under the influence. Don't speed. And don't drive while distracted.
Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
The provincial and federal governments are expected to make a formal announcement on $10 a day childcare today. The premier announced in question period this week that the province is planning to announce an extension by the end of the week. That means today. Education Minister Everett Hindley said negotiations were partially held up by cabinet changes in the federal government, along with certain aspects of the deal.
Because we were hearing from families and from childcare operators that while they appreciated affordable, sustainable childcare, that there were also some things there that weren't working for them. So we wanted to negotiate that with the federal government. Well, for example, as I've indicated, one of them is the the inclusion of kids once they turn the age of 6 and essentially kind of aging out of the program. We'll talk more on Friday about what's in the deal.
The Education Minister will join me on set, and we'll have that conversation for you on Monday. The death toll in Hong Kong has risen to 128 people who were killed in a devastating fire that tore through multiple high-rise apartment buildings. This tearful resident, fearful her home is gone. An additional 79 people were injured in the disaster and 200 remain missing. The complex was undergoing renovations at the time of the fire. The 32-story towers were wrapped in bamboo scaffolding and green mesh, which fueled the rapid spread, as well as styrofoam placed outside the windows. 8 people overseeing the work have now been arrested for manslaughter, and a corruption inquiry has been launched. South of the border, the day after Thanksgiving, traditionally Black Friday shopping frenzy, but scenes of chaotic scrambles for the best bargains could be a thing of the past as consumer confidence drops.
We will be more cautious. Prices are high, and that's something we're teaching our kids.
The U.S. Conference Board says thanks to growing anxiety about the labor market and the economy, consumer confidence sank in November by the most in 7 months. There are other factors impacting Black Friday as well. Online shopping is one of those. It started weeks ago. A Deloitte survey also says American shoppers won't be spending as much this holiday season. The Saskatoon Distillery has been named a worldwide whiskey producer of the year. Stacey Hine shows us why.
John Cote brushes off fresh snow before tapping into a whiskey barrel. Keeping barrels outside in Saskatchewan's extreme weather is far from industry standard, but that unusual approach stood out to judges at the International Wine and Spirits Competition, earning this family-run operation the title of Worldwide Whiskey Producer of the Year.
They were very surprised and impressed with the idea of storing our whiskey outdoors, because that is totally unheard of in the whiskey industry.
That signature technique began by accident. When Cote and his wife Barb first started Black Fox Farm and Distillery a decade ago, they had no choice but to leave the barrels outside.
We couldn't afford to build a building. It sits outside, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my goodness, this actually works. And so why would you ever change it?
Cote says the barrels expand and contract with Saskatchewan's heat and cold, creating pressure changes that shape the flavor of the whiskey.
It's absolutely wonderful. It's almost like the barrels are alive and breathing.
Judges also praised the distillery's crop the connoisseur philosophy, with about 95% of their grains grown right on their farm. The owners say the award is also a win for the province.
It's a Saskatchewan award because our whiskey can only be made here because of the grains that we grow and our weather.
Saskatchewan is known for growing some of the best grains in the world for other purposes, and we should be able to make very good whiskey, and this proves that we can.
And while the award has boosted sales, they say the most heartwarming part is sharing their whiskey with the world. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The Moose Jaw Warriors exploded for 3 third-period goals last night.
Lajoie after him, stolen away. Here they come, 2-on-1. McFadden with Lajoie. Trailers Thorpe the play. McFadden stoned by 2. Rebound, scores. Empty.
McFadden scored 2 goals, added an assist as the Warriors beat the Calgary Hitmen 5-2 last night. All 5 Saskatchewan teams in action tonight. Let's turn our attention to the weather picture in that weekend forecast.
Well, before we get to the weekend forecast, I just want to draw your attention behind me here. Look at this winter wonderland. How beautiful. All that rime frost on the trees. Gorgeous start to the day across Saskatchewan, really. And we are going to be seeing some more of those flakes coming down later this morning into those afternoon hours as well. Could be impacting Saskatchewan into early tomorrow morning and then pushing away for the weekend. We're not expecting any more of that snow for the weekend, just colder temperatures. Right now in Regina, we're waking up to -12 and a few flakes in the area, -8 in Saskatoon. Again, seeing a few flakes to start the day. It's not a bad thing. This is the time of year where we want to be seeing this. We don't want another brown Christmas like we had a few years ago. Now, this is the system at about 11:30 a.m. later on this morning, so it is going to be starting to pull away from the central zone, mainly impacting areas down towards the south today. In particular, the southwest around Swift Current, going to be seeing the most of those flurries today. Into the later parts of the afternoon, Regina's still going to be seeing it, but then overnight, we really start to see that disappear. The last little bit of the system going to be impacting Estevan overnight, and then by about 9 a.m. tomorrow, we should be seeing that precipitation fully out of the province, just being left with some heavy amounts of cloud cover. Current temperatures now, we are waking up to -12 for Buffalo Narrows, La Ronge, Stony Rapids. Through Melfort this morning, -7, -11 in Hudson Bay. Down towards the south, we're seeing -8 to wake us up in East End, -11 in Assiniboia and Weyburn, and -13 right now in Estevan. Later on this afternoon, we will be seeing temperatures just slightly below the seasonal average, -8 for Swift Current, -7 for Moose Jaw, -7 also for Regina and Yorkton and Prince Albert, -10 through Saskatoon this afternoon, though, and -8 for Estevan with those flurries. If you're wondering just how regular this is, the average for this time of year, -4.3 for Regina and -5.7 for Saskatoon. Not quite as cold as last year, though. On this day, November 28th, we saw -20 in Regina and -20.9 in Saskatoon. The record back in the year 1901, that was 10.6 for Regina, and in 2002, that record was 9.6 in Saskatoon. We do have some more snow on the way next week after a cold weekend. -13 tomorrow, -14 on Sunday, but we at least will be seeing the sunshine. Snow starting up again in Regina right now on our radar on Tuesday, -4, so a little bit warmer on that day, and then returning on Thursday with -5. In Saskatoon, again, a cold weekend, -14 on Saturday, -15 on Sunday. Some snow returning on Monday, though, -12, and then a little bit warmer on Tuesday with those flurries, -6. Black Friday and Cyber Monday promised to bring some amazing deals for the holidays this year, and we're getting some tips about what you can check out with our travel and lifestyle expert, Jen Weatherhead-Harrington. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for your time. Let's start with how we can save on everything from travel to beauty products to home supplies.
Yeah, so I have a secret. It's a little website called Rakuten.ca, and what they're great for is that they have over 750 different retailers that they've partnered with where you can get cash back on whatever you're purchasing. So for Black Friday and Cyber Monday specifically, you can actually stack those deals, and you can earn 15% cash back on those retailers that you're working with. On Travel Tuesday, you can earn up to 12% cash back. I love adding the little extended button onto your browser. So anytime you go onto a website like Sephora or Gap, it will alert you and let you know, hey, you can get cash back through Rakuten. So you just use that, sign up for it, and then you'll be able to get some money back on things you're already buying anyway.
All right, great. Speaking of travel, let's talk about those amazing travel deals on right now from Marriott.
Yeah, so Marriott is amazing because they have such a wide variety of properties. And for the first time ever, they're having an extended Cyber Week celebration. So first time ever, again, like I mentioned, members can stay from November 30th to February 22nd, the longest window stay that they've ever had before. And they can get 25% off if they book on the Marriott Bonvoy app. So you can also save from now until Travel Tuesday, December 2nd. If you're a Marriott Bonvoy member, 25% on thousands of hotels and properties on the app, 20% if you book online. Non-members can save up to 15%. Few different places that I think would be really amazing to escape to: the Westin Resort in Puerto Vallarta, newly renovated, incredible beaches there. You could also stay at the Marriott Cancun. This is incredible for families. They have a camp for kids there. And then the W Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic. This is the W's first all-inclusive property, and also one of the newest properties in the Dominican Republic as well.
All right, you're tempting me with a trip this morning, but if we travel, we have to travel comfortably. What do you recommend?
Yeah, so this is my goal going forward, to just be as comfortable as possible when I'm traveling. And if you've had to wear a bra on an airplane or a long car ride before, you know that it can be really uncomfortable. So I'm talking about Wonder Bra right now, because they're kind of iconic for having very soft, comfortable bras. Their iconic number 2483 bra has no wires in it, so it fits really snugly to your body. It moves with you, and that way you can make sure that you're comfortable on those long plane rides or a long car ride. They also have period panties that you can take with you if you're a super minimalist packer and you're only doing carry-on and want to take the least amount of things with you as possible. Those are a great option as well. For Black Friday and Cyber Monday, it is 30% off on select styles at wonderbra.ca.
All right, our travel and lifestyle expert, Jen Weatherhead-Harrington, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's check in with Janelle Lipai once more at the Agribition grounds in Regina.
All right, I'm back down at Agribition with Brian, Superintendent for Horizon School Division. Now, Brian, all of this hard work could not have been done without as many great hands being a part of it. So let's talk a little bit about who helped you guys along the way to get here.
All right, so once again, I would just like to thank the Canadian Western Agribition Board and Executive for the partnership with Horizon School Division. I'd also like to acknowledge our Board of Trustees for allowing us to be part of Agribition and giving us the opportunity to come here and showcase what we have to offer all week.
Wow. Well, that's fantastic. Who exactly are you showcasing around here? Let's talk some specifics about who you guys have to offer.
All right. So, number one, our Horizon Indigenous Education team does a great job of providing programming and getting things ready in terms of the registered programming. But we also have the Office of the Treaty Commissioner come in and spend some days with us. They set up a booth. They set up the nice big treaty timeline wall. We have the Treaty Land Sharing Network organization coming and sharing and setting up. We also had the Ministry of Agriculture, their Indigenous Agriculture department come and join us as well. So we have other partners as well that we work in. And we really want it to be inclusive, and we really want to make it worthwhile when they stop and visit.
Yes, absolutely. I can tell there is so much hard work that has gone into this. Now, don't worry too much. There is still time to come and check this out. Agribition is not over yet. Now, Brian, where can people find you guys?
Okay, we're situated in the Heritage Link on the Agribition map, which is the west end of the Brand Center. So we have, our stations here, and we also have a presentation area where we bring in knowledge keepers and elders and academics to come and speak to schools about our worldviews around agriculture and around our connection to the land. Indigenous peoples have that real spiritual connection to the land, so we really like to highlight that in our talks with young people.
Absolutely, Brian. Well, I have had a great time with you here this morning. Thank you so much for having us out.
Yes, it's been a pleasure.
Alrighty, well, that wraps things up for us down at Agribition.
Actor James Van Der Beek is giving fans the opportunity to take home memorabilia from his most well-known characters to raise money for his cancer treatments. A jersey from the movie Varsity Blues is going up for auction next month, as well as items from his time as the title character on Dawson's Creek. He was diagnosed with colorectal cancer in 2023. Dick Van Dyke reflects on his life and storied career as he gets ready to turn 100 next month. In an interview with People, he says he still feels like a teenager and makes a point to keep a sunny disposition. Van Dyke also celebrating a new book called 100 Rules for Living to 100. He'll reach his centennial on December 13th. On this day in 1992, Whitney Houston's version of I Will Always Love You starts its winning streak on the Billboard Hot 100. The single would go on to spend 14 weeks in the top spot, a record at the time. And happy birthday to Judd Nelson. The Brat Pack actor turns 66. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
An SFU student is spreading joy by cycling on one wheel. Here is Adam Sawatsky.
Before he learned how to juggle things in the air, Arlo Watts had to develop the patience to keep picking them up off the ground.
I like to say that juggling just means dropping things over and over again.
But after months of practice and perseverance, Arlo got it.
Once you feel like you have a rhythm, then it's really exciting, and immediately you start to think of what the next thing is.
That turned out to be the unicycle, which Arlo taught himself how to ride after moving away to university.
I find that in computer science, I often don't have to leave the house if I don't want to. I don't have to go outside.
But when you're a unicyclist, you do. So Arlo started riding around to maintain his physical fitness before adding juggling to the exercise to challenge himself mentally.
Because normally when you're riding the unicycle, you use your arms for balance. But when you're juggling, suddenly your hands have to go all over the place to catch whatever it is that you're juggling.
It's hard. So sometimes Arlo takes it easy by grabbing his Rubik's Cube, donning a clown nose just for fun, and riding his unicycle, all the while solving that puzzle, which he can consistently do in less than a minute.
I get a lot of satisfaction from working hard on something and then succeeding at it.
While finding personal satisfaction is important, Arlo has learned, so is inspiring positivity in others.
What I really want is to get people to see something they've never seen before.
So whenever it seems like we're all in the mood for a melody, this unicycle man tries to get us feeling all right.
Take a break from being stressed for a moment. Take a minute to smile and think about all of the weird and wonderful things that are possible.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Burnaby.
He possesses a unique set of skills, Jeremy.
Yeah, I tried to learn the unicycle once. That dream lasted about 3 minutes before I realized how hard it is to even get up on one of those things.
I would
So
love
tough.
to try, just because when I was younger, I was the best at riding my bike with no handlebars.
I've got to read the Jeremy Dodge autobiography is what I've got to do. Is just, you've lived a life. Let's go to our sidebar. Wow, I saw you missed out on it, JD. The Great Cup was here.
Yeah, it was a very exciting morning. We had an opportunity to get some championship photos with Coach Mays.
If it looks damaged, it is.
Yeah.
It is. They've got an order in to do some repairing. Producer Nathan said he almost twisted the top off. He felt like it was going to come loose, and it might have. It was heavier than you expected, right?
Very heavy. I mean, I was only holding it with the one arm there, as you can see, but as soon as Coach Mace put it in my hands had to dip. I was like, oh, I'm surprised by this.
What surprised me, Jeremy, is it didn't come in a case. Like the Stanley Cup comes in a case, they bring it out, they display it. They do this thing, he strapped it into the front seat of his car, and he just drove it down the street. Like,
nice little seatbelt, keep it safe.
Right? That's the way to travel, right? Just like
I like it.
This whole thing.
Put it, you need to use it as your carry-on.
Be like, is that the Grey Cup?
I'm sorry, I couldn't see you over the light was shining in my eye from this championship trophy.
Yeah.
My goodness. If you missed the conversation, by the way, it is available right now on our website. All you got to do is go to the main page. It's right there. What else we got for?
Well, do you know of any kids between 9 and 14 who love soccer? You might need to tell them about this. Nominations to be an official ball carrier at the 2026 FIFA World Cup in Toronto and Vancouver are now open.
That's cool.
Until Sunday, you can record and share a video submission of your child telling FIFA and Kia about their inspirational story and their love of soccer. 6 winners will be chosen, and each of them will be able to carry out a match ball at one of the games in the 2 Canadian host cities. But move quick. Nominations close November 30th. That's Sunday.
They all have to
Kids
have a
only?
story. Yeah, the kids. This reminded me of that
What
episode.
about 46-year-old men?
Reminded me of that episode of Seinfeld where Kramer became a ball man at Wimbledon, right?
So good. I could do this job.
Yeah, and the other thing, I always watch those reality shows. You can't just be like, yeah, I just really like the show and I want to be on it. You have to have some deep, dark story, you know?
Yeah, inspirational story.
It's true.
Let's take a look at some of the hardworking folk that make this show possible. Thank you for being with us here on Your Morning Saskatchewan.